hit subscribe. Subscribe to my guy, Uncle D. Tell him Big Bass sent you.
Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas, an advocate for black men, largely because I am a black man. I'm a black father, I have black sons. Hey man, I do what I do.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. So I'm going to talk to you all about something that basically is kind of just fell in my lap. You know, I respond to people in my comment section oftentimes. And I really read all the comments because it helps me understand where people are coming from. And so today I had a young lady who asked me a simple question, and it was, you know, she basically said, I've never heard you criticize black men, never hold black men accountable. And so I will let you all see that. It's still present on my page now, on my post page where you post things. So I'll pull that up and I'll let you guys take a look at that. Shout out to Urban Eagle. Thank you so much. Here's a screen. Young lady made this post. Never heard you hold black men accountable. Don't love their mothers. Where was their fathers? And this is from a broadcast that I did probably several years ago. But either way, I thought about it. You know, I thought about it and I responded. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Now, I know that, you know, as you guys know, I don't really talk about relationships. And for the most part, I've expanded my broadcast. Instead of just being an advocate for black men, I've expanded it to talk about, or should I say, to help sway the public opinion as related to black people in general, specifically foundational black Americans. Somebody type FBA in the chat room. And I've done that because of the political climate, because I see what we're dealing with and I see where this is going. And then I want to make sure that, you know, I utilize my voice, my education, my ability to make sure that our people win this ideological battle. And so because of that, you know, I'm still an advocate for black men, but again, I've expanded out to kind of address more of the broader issues related to race and religion, et cetera, et cetera. But nevertheless, this is something that, you know, I want to deal with. So without further ado, let me welcome you all to the broadcast. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today with me. As you know, my name is Dennis Spurling. And as I indicated today, I'm going to talk about a post that I received on my page. A young lady commented and, you know, she said, I've never heard you hold black men accountable. And this was in response to a broadcast where I talked about how one of the issues that black men have with black women is not necessarily related to the actual black women that they are dating, but rather it stems from relationships with their mother. And any psychologist worth their salt will tell you the same thing. And then the young lady immediately said, well, where's their father? Okay, so without digging into that, when I saw the comment, I actually thanked her, okay? Because again, as I said earlier, I read all the comments, I read all the messages. I genuinely appreciate the feedback. Whether you think it's positive or negative, I accept it and I deal with it as part of what I understand to be the collective thought consciousness of black people. And these are the ideas and frustrations. These are the narratives, they're the beliefs that circulate in our community. And they didn't just come from nowhere. Okay. Now, as you all know, I'm a lawyer. And so my response was based around my perspective. And I basically said, as a lawyer, I don't advocate for everyone in the courtroom. Okay. I advocate for the person I represent. You see, and this right here is the court of public opinion. See, what this is letting you know is that advocacy is not neutral. Advocacy is not balance for the sake of appearances. Advocacy means you choose a side and you stand on that side in a courtroom, even if it is the court of public opinion. Now, no one expects a defense attorney to stand up and argue against their own client just to try to prove that they're fair. That would actually be considered malpractice, and the same rule applies here. On this particular platform, my voice on my channel, I have chosen to represent Black men, not because Black men are perfect. Nobody is saying that. Okay? Well, nobody would, I'm not saying it. All right? And it's not because Black men have never made any mistakes, collectively or individually. I don't think any brother out here is going to say that. But because the broader public arena, Black men are already, we already have enough prosecutors. We have enough critics. We have enough accusers and narrators eager to tell the world everything that's wrong with us. So no, you probably won't hear me publicly. Somebody type publicly. You probably won't hear me publicly prosecuting Black men on my platform. That doesn't mean I'm not aware of the issues. It doesn't mean I don't understand accountability. It means I understand roles. I understand that everybody doesn't have to play the same one. And see, this is the court of public opinion. And I know exactly who I represent. Now, let's talk about this phrase that keeps getting thrown around: holding Black men accountable. Okay. Now, the truth is, Black men have been accountable. They've been held accountable historically. And it's been relentless. It's been public and it's been constant. And I'm an advocate for Black men, so you probably will never hear me holding Black men accountable in public in the forum the way people are demanding that I do. And that's intentional. But I need to be clear about something. There's no shortage of accountability when it comes to Black men. None at all. There are hundreds, probably thousands, maybe even millions of think pieces, academic papers, sociological studies, and opinion columns dissecting what Black men have done wrong, and there are movies and television shows where a Black male character is absent or abusive or irresponsible or some sort of criminal or disposable. There's music that reinforces the same narrative. There's newspaper articles that frame Black men as the root of social dysfunction in America. And right here on YouTube, there are countless channels, some hosted by Black people, some not, whose entire business model is built on publicly criticizing and diagnosing and pathologizing and condemning Black men. And this isn't new. This goes back hundreds of years. From slavery to Reconstruction, from Jim Crow to modern era, Black men have been scrutinized and blamed. We've been regulated. We've been punished, and it's been explained to death. There's never been a period in American history where Black men were left alone, where we weren't held accountable, not socially, not legally, and not culturally. So the real question is this, and I want y'all to pay attention. And I want all of you all who have YouTube pages, or who aspire to have YouTube pages, I want you to listen. The question is, why is it that they want me? one of the few voices openly advocating for black men to join the chorus on my platform, this YouTube page, this Dennis Spurling podcast. Somebody type Dennis Spurling podcast in the chat room. Why me? Why do you all think me? Huh? Why is the demand always that the advocate must also be the prosecutor? Why is it never enough that there are endless spaces dedicated to telling black men what they've done wrong, what they failed at, what they owe, what they should be ashamed of? I think Charlie Kirk's last words was something about gang violence, and the implication being, black men are the issue. We weren't even there. I challenge anybody to show me a time in this country when black men were not held accountable. In fact, I would argue the opposite. I would argue that black men are routinely held accountable for things we have absolutely no responsibility for. We get blamed for structural failures. We get blamed for racist policy decisions. We get blamed for purpose economic sabotage of the black community and black wealth. Cultural narratives created without us and imposed on us. We're blamed for outcomes we didn't design, systems we didn't control, and conditions we inherited rather than created. So no, I'm not going to pretend accountability is lacking. But what is lacking is balance. What's lacking is advocacy. What's lacking is someone willing to say enough piling on. And that's the role I've chosen to play. Now, you want me to tell black men they ain't shit. I get it. See, that's what it really comes down to. You want me to stand or sit here and publicly say that black men ain't shit. You want me to call them dusty? You want me to call them subpar? You want me to call them deadbeat daddies? You want me to tell them they don't take care of their women, they abandon their home? This is what you want me to tell them. You basically want me to tell the world they're violent, they're pathological, that we deserve whatever we get, whatever happens to us. And see, I want to be honest with you guys. That's an avenue that a lot of YouTubers have taken. It's the quickest way to get numbers up. And I'm telling the truth. You have channels whose whole entire focus is telling the world about dusty black men who ain't shit. Excuse my language. And see, that content is a business model. It's not truth. It's not a truth-seeking exercise, because outrage sells, and contempt sells, and public humiliation sells. They basically want you to participate in the public lynching of the black man's reputation as a whole, all of us. And see, the thing is, there's a deliberate, repeatable formula in media, especially on YouTube and social platforms, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, where bashing American black men, foundational black American men, is the fastest way to gain attention, the fastest way to get views, and the fastest way to get validation. Content that frames foundational black American men as subpar. And it's only FBA men. That's it. They want to paint us as irresponsible. They want to paint us as uniquely defective. And why does it sell? It sells because there's pre-existing anger and grievance, particularly among certain audiences. This includes white men. This includes non-foundational black Americans, overseas, here. And I'm not saying, and of course, black American women in the United States. And I'm not saying that no black man has ever done anything wrong and doesn't deserve chastisement. Okay. But what I'm saying is there are entire channels built around exaggerating and flattening and monetizing failure because outrage sells better than nuance. So, you know, you cater to a group of angry women. Somebody type somebody in the chat room. Where all my somebodies at? Ladies, I know you're listening. Where all my somebodies at? All my somebody, because somebody asked me to hold dusty black men accountable. And this is what you're going to get. Somebody type somebody in the chat room. I want you somebodies to put your feet up and get your nose, your toenails painted. You can sit up in your bubble bath and listen to Uncle D. Somebody type somebody in the chat room. And somebody know who I'm talking to. Somebody asked me to hold dusty black men accountable. Somebody. Mm-hmm. See, if you cater to a group of angry women who some of these women may not ever have had bad experiences with men in their own lives, but as a collective, they absorb the experiences of other women. And when those experiences, they make those experiences their own. And many women who consume this content, especially when we talk about black women who consume this content, are reacting to secondhand trauma, not their own lived experience. Instead, these somebodies are absorbing stories passed down through family members and social circles, whether we're talking about mothers, aunties, sisters, girlfriends, sorority sisters, and they're emotionally inheriting those experiences as if they're their own. So in their mind, they too have been disrespected by black men. They too have been overlooked by black men, even though they've never actually had those encounters themselves. And the anger feels real to them because it's inherited. Collective storytelling turns into collective grievance, and that grievance then looks for public validation. And that's where I come in. The criticism becomes even more powerful if a man, especially a black man with credibility, does the criticizing for them. And if he says it feels confirmed. You guys, plenty of black men on YouTube right now. Y'all call them black conservatives. Part of their shtick is criticizing black men. Part of their shtick, the way they keep a certain crowd happy, is chastising black men. Shout out to Black Adula. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. That's the first super chat, so I want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much. And you know what? I am going to open up the chat room. I want this is going to be something called Critics Corner. You know, this is my critic time. You want to come complain about something I said this week? Of course, all the white supremacists, you're welcome. I was on the white people's butt all week. I was on them. You all are welcome too. But tonight is Black Night. Somebody type Black Night. Okay. Okay, come in and give your critiques. But you all are welcome to come in. The only thing I ask is that you cam up. You can come in and talk to me about anything. Again, I listen to what you say. I'm not going to treat you, but I appreciate pushback. I like it. That's the way we learn. Okay, that's the way we keep. As long as people are talking, you can work things out. But again, you know, so tonight it's Black Night. I've talked about white people all week, and I did a broadcast and, you know, talk about Nazis and Nazi women getting banged by black soldiers. I'm sure white supremacists are mad at me, but I don't care. You're going to hear it because it's truth. It's in your history books. You hadn't been taught history correctly. You see, you have had an interpretation of the facts, which were deemed acceptable. You see, but we are grown-ups over here. We're going to deal with the real thing. But again, The reason that they want me to criticize black men, because it's more powerful when it comes from a man like myself. See, if somebody like me says it feels concerned, why is that? Number one, I'm older. Okay. That means something. Another thing is I'm educated, which means a lot. Because a lot of folk, a lot of folk, they smart, but they're intelligent, they're wise, but it's something when you get that education and you have to deal with those brilliant people, those people who try and test you and push you, and you have to learn it. From trigonometry to ancient writing arts. That brain gets a lot of crinkles in it. But it demonstrates that you also have stability. So education for a black man, growing up when I did, I'm a father. And I would like to think that I'm a good father. I'm an involved father. The other thing is I'm a businessman, whether we're talking about the law business. Speaking of which, make sure you hit me up at 713-229-0770 if you've been involved in a car accident. Let me go ahead and say that now before we get going. I run everybody out of here. You can call me if you've been involved in a car accident. The bottom line is I'm a businessman. I'm a practicing attorney. I'm a homeowner. I'm financially well-to-do. So I carry weight, not just on YouTube, but in the real world. So the goal becomes to get me to say it, get me to do the dirty work. If someone like me joins in and piles on black men, it becomes a stamp of legitimacy. It allows people to say, see, even this guy is saying the same thing about those blacks, those black men. And see, that's not accidental, it's strategic. And this isn't new. This is the same thing that the so-called black conservatives do. They build platforms by attacking black people in general, especially black men, because it's rewarded. But just like those channels, eventually it runs out. And you see it happening right now. You see a lot going on right now on YouTube. Okay. None of my business, though. I don't get involved in other people's business. I mind my business, but you see it happening. We've seen it happen before. The link is in the chat room, by the way. Anybody who wants to come in and wait in line. But again, those black conservatives, they build the platforms by attacking black people, especially black men, and they're rewarded. Just like those channels, eventually it runs out. Eventually the grift ends. You can't build longevity by attacking your own people for applause. And quiet is kept. Black men and make things hot in the black community, not black women. Okay. We make hip hop hot. We make fashion hot. We make music hot. It's black male star power that brings the attention. And then black women will come in and they'll incorporate themselves into it. Right. And if you don't believe me, look at YouTube right now. This was predominantly, or black YouTube was a predominantly black male space. And I would argue that you have more black female content creators who are blowing up than black men. I mean, look at me. I only have 100. I don't even have $100,000 subscribers. You have some people that come in, they got 100, 200. Hey, it is what it is. They can come. Brothers make it hot. They clear the landing zone, and then the sisters come in and they build right from there. But again, this used to be a predominantly male space, predominantly black male space, and if you see it now, it's largely dominated by black females. Eventually, black men recognize, what's happening, and and they call these conservative types on it. Okay. And when that happens, they look like hypocrites. Because see, on the flip side, when it comes to a lot of these so-called black conservatives, and the truth is, people start pointing at their lives and their lifestyles, and we begin to notice that these same people who are talking bad about black men, they have that same mentality, those same actions. those same shortcomings as the very men that they attempt to denigrate, right? Shout out to Cool Joe Scott. You know, they call them scammers, and you know, they're turn out to be hustlers, ex-convicts. They cheat on their girlfriends, they cheat on their wives, they don't take care of their children, they're cowardly, and that gets exposed. And these so you know, and otherwise inept men with no fame or success outside of YouTube, they don't have anybody who can validate them in their longevity. The same men that they call lowlifes and degenerates, or claim that are holding the black community back, and they're those type of men. And once that contradiction is exposed, it's over. And at that point, not only do you lose the black crowd, okay, you already lost the black crowd, because you know, you can't sit up and spend days and years talking reckless about black men and think you're not going to raise some eyebrows. But see, once you lose the black crowd, you've lost that already, but you also lose the white crowd, okay? Shout out to Bobby Williams and anybody else associated with that, because they depend on you to speak ill to black people about black people, okay? But once they realize you no longer have sway with black people, you no longer serve a purpose, and they discard you. And see, both of these paths are easy routes. Whether you're talking bad about black people or talking bad about black men, you got channels dedicated to black conservatives. Like, that's all they do. They just talk bad about black people, both men and women. Okay, and then you got some channels that just talk bad about black men. And see, both of those paths are easy routes. They're a quick way to get numbers up. They're a quick way to get your, did I say shout out to Bobby Williams? Thank you so much. They're a quick way to get your name out there on YouTube. But you know, as they say, easy come, easy go. And that's why you see so many of these black male haters and black people bashers who are no longer relevant. They had to go to some other platform. Okay, and that's why you see, again, so many of these so-called black conservatives falling off on a daily basis. I did a broadcast about it maybe 6 months to a year ago. I call them black conservative extremists. And see, the difference between me and them is I'm not interested in quick applause. I'm interested in longevity. Okay? Now, I want to kind of put this in perspective. Again, the link is in the chat room. Anybody who wants to come in, the link is in the chat room. But, you know, you on my little channel, this little channel I have that openly advocates for black men, right? To do what? To do what dozens, thousands of other channels are already doing on YouTube. You want me to disrespect and denigrate these dusty black men? Somebody type dusty in the chat room. You mean somebody type dusty? You see? Number one, that's like going to a steakhouse asking for a vegan plate. You're basically in the wrong place. And there are plenty of restaurants, there are plenty of YouTube that serve that, you know? It's like there are plenty of platforms dedicated to criticizing and shaming and tearing down black men. This is not one of them. Now, let's begin to break this down, because I like to teach you all things, and even on something that's just more sociological than science, I want you to kind of understand. And if you learn something, I should earn something. I want you guys to really understand the truth. You know, first of all, truth requires courage. And courage means being willing to stand alone and to say something different and to accept that not everyone is going to like it. It's better to speak the truth, because there's longevity in speaking the truth. Okay, and speaking the truth actually requires courage, and something, you know, something most people simply don't have. I mean, the last person I saw who consistently used this YouTube platform to who spoke the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, was Kevin Samuels. Remember how unpopular he was at the time? He was saying those things he was saying. Remember that? Do you all remember how unpopular he was with folk? Somebody type somebody. Them somebodies did not like him. Okay. But you also see he would pull down $1,000 super chats. He was rewarded heavily. Okay. Not just in money either. He got the finance, but in reach and influence and respect. People still talk about this man. This man was a YouTuber. And people are still talking about him 4 years later. Who was your senator 4 years ago? All you black, let me show you how relevant. Who was your senator of your state 4 years ago? Do you know the name of the vice president for Donald Trump before this? You don't even remember, most of y'all. You see? And here we are 4 years later, and Kevin Samuels' name is still ringing. He's still trending on the internet. See, people may not have liked what he said, but they listened. And they listened because it hurt their feelings, but they recognized it was the truth. And so the reason Kevin and I became friends and the reason he respected me is because I also spoke the truth. I did it in my own way. I was courageous and I was brave enough to do it even when people didn't like it, even when it was unpopular, even when it cost something. And we had a mutual respect for each other, you see? But the bottom line is this: you're rewarded for speaking the truth. And many of you saw Kevin, again, he was heavily, I remember I saw him in April in New York, the month before he died, and we were sitting at the restaurant. It was me, lead attorney, and MTR, mediocre tutorials and reviews. We were sitting at a restaurant, April 2022, and we were just having a conversation about the YouTube business and where we wanted to take it collectively. And Kevin showed me his readout from the month before. The man had earned $500,000 in YouTube money the month before. That was the previous month. And see, people rewarded him for being honest, okay, in a time when no one would be honest to women about their behavior. You see what I'm saying? So you get rewarded for truth. It's hard. It's hard. You got to take a lot of flack. But again, you get rewarded for truth. Now, the truth is this. I want y'all to listen to me. Be very careful. I want you to hear what I'm saying. The truth is I do hold you dusty black men accountable. Somebody type Dusty in the chat room. I do. I do hold black men accountable. But I do it in a different way. I do it deliberately. I don't criticize black men publicly in any way that can be used against black people as a whole. Now, if you catch me behind closed doors, I'll tell you the truth about yourself. Whoever you are, man, women, child, dog, muppet, midget, a mouse, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's who I am. But again, I don't criticize black men publicly, and that's not accidental. That's how I was raised. Those of us who grew up with grandmothers and grandfathers who you would consider race men, who actually cared about us, were taught something very specific. You don't criticize and degenerate or denigrate and talk bad about black people in front of white people, ever. Somebody say I'm cuddly. Don't be up in here telling me I'm cuddly. Don't you do that. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we don't criticize black people in front of other people. And now some of you all, they call that bourgeoisie. Y'all call that the black bourgeois. Y'all say, oh, that's that boule thinking. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You can call it whatever you want, but those values, what I was taught, and there was wisdom behind that. See, our elders at that time understood that too many people today, something they don't understand today, and they refuse to accept. Racist white people people already looking for confirmation of their bias. They don't parse nuance. They're not interested in distinctions. They're not going to separate an educated black man from an educated uneducated black man. They're not going to separate a law-abiding black man from a criminal-minded black man. A disciplined black man is no different than an undisciplined black man to them. We all black. So when you stand up in public and you use your education and your huge platforms and your political position to speak down on black people in front of white people, really in front of the world, you're not being honest or courageous. You're being reckless. Because what you say will not be used to uplift. It will be used to confirm what they already want to believe. And see, our elite, our knowledgeable ancestors understood that. They understood that public criticism in hostile spaces does not land us accountability. It lands as validation for racism. And once though in bigotry and prejudice. And once those narratives are validated, they don't stop at the people you're criticizing. They fall right back on us. They make all of our lives harder. They affect how we're treated at work, how we're treated in courtrooms, how we're treated in schools, how our children are treated in schools, how we're treated by the police, how we're dealt with in banks and other institutions. And they knew that. And I'm gonna say something to make y'all mad. I don't care. I want you to hear it. You know, that's why all these low-class black people opening their big mouths, criticizing black people openly for white people and others, you know, they use that against us. Having class is not just about having money. It's knowing what to say, when to say, and how to say it. And sometimes when to keep your mouth shut. You see, that's class. How to comport yourself in public. And this is the public. That's why I have the coat and tie on. I'm in the public. Got this nice smoking jacket on for you all. You understand? There's a reason. Now, again, and I'm gonna keep putting this link in. I'd love for you critics to come in. That young lady who you know, had something to say to me about, you know, not criticizing these dusty black men, I'd love for you to come in and we can talk. But again, let me run that back. The distinct class is not high class, or class is not always about money. It's about consciousness. It's about discipline. It's about responsibility. There's a book called Our Kind of People. And that speaks directly to this value system. If you want to understand how black families and communities survived and thrived and passed something down despite hostility, you should read that book and start patterning how you raise your children after those lessons. Unfortunately, many of those elders are gone, and now we have, you know, old people who never grew into elders and standing in the place of influence without wisdom that position requires. So instead of public shaming, right, we see this behavior. Now, the other thing I do, okay, you may hear me openly criticize black men, but you will hear me actively discourage black men from doing stuff like cheating on their wives. Have y'all heard me say that? Don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. That you've heard me say that? Don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. So again, let me take the opposite. Since we're talking to critics, look, marketing genius. The link is in the chat room. You say I'm not. Miss Spurling is not a black man. Come on in. This is your day. It's your time to shine. I want you to come in and tell me. Tell everybody. I want all of you all to come in. Look, I'm trying to tell y'all, baby, I'm going to listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say. I want you to tell me all the reasons why I'm not black. I'm not a black man. Tell me, please. I'm here for you. Okay? And look, I'm not going to beat you up. I might just ask you some questions and we'll let the people decide. Anybody who says I'm not a black man, come on in. I'd like to, I want you to, hell, I want the white people. White people, do you think I'm a black man? Y'all gonna let me join the country club half off? Since I'm not a black man, I'd like to know what I am. I'd like to know what I am. Am I like some kind of space alien or something? Let me know. But the link is in the chat room. Come on in now. Don't run away now. It's your time to shine. Okay, so don't sit and criticize from behind the little dark screen. I need you to ease on in here. Where you at? Don't run. Somebody type, don't run now. Don't run now. Okay. But you know, and y'all make sure you hit the #1 button and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. I'm marching close to 200,000, and I know it's taking a day. We had a long week. Weren't we doing a lot of work this week? We did a lot of work this week. We was working, man. So this is kind of like a chill day. So I'd love to have y'all come in. Where my critics at, man? Let's get the critics in here. Let's talk. But again, as I said before, I do hold black men accountable. Okay, but I'm not. I do it through character, not chasing clout. And that's why I tell you, brothers. I say, don't black men. I talk to men. Don't cheat on your wives or your girlfriends. Is there anybody else on YouTube who tells you not to cheat on your wives or your girlfriends? Is there any other man on YouTube at my level, right, that tells you don't cheat on your wife or your girlfriend? Where the ladies at? I had a young man tell me his wife didn't like me until she heard me tell that to them. Say, don't cheat on your wife or your girlfriend. She said, well, okay, you can keep listening to him. You think about that. And the reason I do that is simple. And I don't cheat on my wife, even when she was my girlfriend. Even though I'm what you would consider a high value man. You see? And I say it open. I'm proud. I love my wife. You understand? And the reason that you don't do that is because cheating creates jealousy. It creates instability and it breaks up families. And family stability matters. Now, I'm not accusing any of you brothers out there cheating. Ladies, if you sit next to your man, I want you to look at him right now. I want you to look at the side of his head. I want you to look at the side of his head and just, when I say what I'm about to say right now, I just want you to look at him. And if he flinch at all, I want you to grab the closest pillow you can and try to wallop him upside his head. Okay? Look, I want you to look at him. Okay? Tell him, look at him. Brothers, don't cheat on your wife or your girlfriend. You can't do that. Okay? Don't do it. It's not right. You don't, look, let me tell you something. I know my friend Kevin Samuels, he actually disagreed. We disagreed on this point. And I want to be clear. I'm not raising this to diminish Kevin in any way, but I'm here to clarify where my standards come from. Kevin used to say that high value men have options. And I understood what he meant from a sexual marketplace perspective. I get what he meant. But see, my position has always been this: whether you're a high value man or a low value man, whether you're a rich man or a poor man, you should want to be a moral man. Okay? You should want to set an example. You want to set an example for your sons. You want to set an example for your children. You want to set an example for your community, because see, leadership is not just about options. Having money or being a high value man is not just about how many women that want to be with you. It's about responsibility. The community can't survive on option. It survives on discipline. You see? And on top of that, I want black men to maintain the moral high ground in the house. You can't be the leader of the house. You can't be in the household. We got all these folk talking about they Christian and don't even understand the true values of Christianity. You can't be the leader of your household. You can't be the moral leader of your household the way the Bible calls us to be. And at the same time, you cheating and engaging in all kinds of immoral behavior. Nobody's going to follow you. And if they do, say they do for other reasons. You don't want people to follow you because you have money and you pay the bills. You want them to follow you because you're a moral leader. You see? Because otherwise they're going to see you as a hypocrite. Leadership requires integrity. And integrity doesn't change based on your income or your status or your options. Now, the other thing is, right, we talking about how I, quote unquote, criticize black men, right? Fidelity. You could read into that and say, well, you want the brothers not to cheat. Cool. The other thing, what's the other criticism? That's the main one, cheating, right? That's the main one we get, right? But I don't ever say that. I just say don't cheat on your wife or your girl. The other thing is, you see me invest a whole lot of time and energy in my children. Most of you all been following me since my little boys were small. You know the type of sports they play. You know all three of their names. Because I involve you in that. I invest time and energy into my sons. You see me teaching them how to drive. You see me working at my office in the summer. You hear me talk about their grades. You see we spend time in martial arts, whether it's jujitsu. You see me at football practice. That's intentional. I'm showing what involvement looks like without criticizing brothers for not being as involved as they should. You see the difference? You see how that works? The enemy can't really take that and use that and throw it against us. You also see the scholarships I give out. You see the money I donate to the community organizations. Right now, I'm sponsoring a viewing of a movie called The Inquisitor about the Honorable Barbara Jordan, Texas Texas representative, Congresswoman Barbara Jordan, Texas Southern University graduate, and Boston Law School graduate. She worked under FDR. Powerful woman. They say when she spoke, it sounded like the voice of God when she spoke. She was crucial in the President Nixon impeachment hearings. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm sponsoring the kids up at TSU. The movie costs $1.4 million to make. They're about $100,000 short. And so what I'm going to do is host a fundraiser. I'm going to get all the rich people in Houston to come and show up and give some money. I'm going to give some money. I'm sponsoring it. We're going to have it in a nice place called River Oaks. It's a beautiful custom movie theater over there that dates back 50, 60 years. It's just beautiful. And we're going to host it there. See? And I'm not doing it for clout. I'm not doing it for money. I'm doing it because Barbara Jordan, and you guys have seen the video I posted up here, because she was number one, she was a brilliant Black woman. She was a brilliant foundational Black American woman, right from Houston, Texas, 5th Ward. Somebody type 5th Ward in the chat room, right from 5th Ward, Houston, Texas. And we need to highlight the success of our people. You don't know how many young Black women and young Black men I will inspire. And that's what I do with my money. Yeah, I got Rolexes and nice jewelry and nice cars, but my kids got nice cars, but you don't see me flaunting that. That's not what I'm about. You see me giving out scholarships. You see the money I donate to other community organizations. You see the youth football that I sponsor, the athletic programs that I sponsor, because the community doesn't sustain itself. It requires investment in charity and giving. But I don't tell you to do it. I don't tell Black men, y'all need to do more of this. I don't do that. I just show me doing it. I don't criticize you. I just this is what I'm doing. So you'll see it's okay. It's been many of men, even when we talk about my children, there's been many of brothers over the past 15 to 16 years who've been inspired by the time and energy I spend with my sons. So without criticizing black men, I pattern things. I lead from the front. You see? So you see me show kindness and generosity towards our community because self-respect starts with how you treat your own people. I love myself. You see, and I love my people. And see, the other thing is you don't take control of your community through threats of force. We do it through love and discipline and charity and responsibility and grace. Somebody type grace in the chat room. We do it through understanding. And the other thing, as I mentioned, you see me encourage physical fitness. You see me post photos of me lifting weights. You see some of the food I eat. I don't put some of the other stuff I eat, but you see me doing all this sort of stuff. You see me in my journey on jiu-jitsu. You see me doing that. White belt back in October 2021. Now here we are in January 2026. I'm a purple belt. That's a big deal. That didn't happen by accident. I'm a small percentage of people in the world, very tiny percent of foundational Black American men. And it happened through consistency and discipline and commitment. I pattern that for folk to see. I'm telegraphing behavior. I'm holding Black men accountable because I understand these are the areas we need to focus on: family, our children, our health, our community. Our children are our future. That's the most important legacy. So you see me hugging my children. That's not accidental. I don't put that stuff up there randomly. It shows that I don't just have, a functional relationship. I'm feeding you and you're my son. No, we have a loving one. And it shows an emotional presence. It shows our cares. How many of you Black men and women out there would have loved to have your daddy hug you more and show you that he cares for you? How many of you all wish you could hug your daddy? How many of y'all had the daddy out there, oh, be tough, boy, be tough, and get to hitting you upside your head, right? And so I'm patterning some of y'all, man. Look, anybody can point out mistakes. Leadership is showing the correct path and walking it. Now, here's the thing, ladies. I need y'all to understand something. Now, ladies, I want you, sisters, I want you to come to the front of the room. Now we're going to get down to business. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Okay, now she's not the first one. Okay, and I have some video footage I want y'all to see. Now, at the same time, you got these sisters out here talking about, but not all Black women, but we got enough of them complaining about Black women. We got enough of y'all co-signing with that. You got a bunch of, you got these non-Black women, white women specifically, they are literally hunting for Black men. I mean, they are literally hunting for Black men. I want you to understand something, okay? These women are out here hunting for Black women. And I'm gonna show y'all some video. I want y'all to see. Let me lay the foundation. I want you to see what you need to see. Hit the #1 button and let me know you can hear what I'm saying nice and clear. All right, when I'm gonna get to playing these videos. Check this out.
I see so many women whose dream is to have a child with a Black man, or they just want a Black man more than anything else. When they date white men, they'll talk about what do you expect? It's not the same. They're not sitting there having conversations with their white guy and saying, "Can I get a hall pass for a Chinese man?" They're not saying that. Black man of choice. They will usually choose Black women. Yeah. They usually will choose Black women, or if they go to other races, it's because she has Black women features. It's not really because. So they love their Blackness. It's just that we all love your Blackness. I think it's not really about black men. I think it's the appeal they have and the testosterone. And I really think it boils down to masculinity. They exude more testosterone and masculinity than other races. So they become universally desired by women. Now, this is not all women. I'm just saying in general, they have more. You could travel to any country. You join Tinder, girls will match with you. It's any country. Now, if you do that same thing as like a Pakistani man or as a Vietnamese man, you don't have the same luck.
Well, that's the young brother. Y'all know that young brother right there. He's a very well-spoken young man. But let's go on to the next video. Y'all, thank you, Dre Harden. Again, y'all want me to talk about black men? I mean, the young lady wanted me to talk about you dusty black men. Well, you know, this is what I do. We have to get a consensus. Hit the number one button if you can.
Not again. Latvia is not a safe country. If you're a single man and you go to Latvia, like, okay, you might want to be approached, but if you're married, you absolutely stay clear of Latvia. If you're a married man and you go there with a ring on your finger, it doesn't matter. The girls will literally, like animals, pounce. You're a foreign man, you got a wedding ring, even more of a challenge. And trust me, these Latvian girls love a challenge. I mean, they're in constant competition because there's just not enough men. They crave men like you.
Somebody type crave in the chat room. Somebody type crave. Somebody type delicious. These women think you black men are delicious. You hear me? We're gonna go somewhere with it. They think you black men are delicious.
Married or not. Do you know how many men I know who have been married, gone on a lad's trip because there was a couple of single guys who wanted a woman, ended up cheating, having an affair. Oh no,
some of you brothers are booking you trying to find where Latvia is right now. You booking your tickets right now. You trying to figure out how you can some money around your 401k.
But inside the Latvian woman's oven, boom, divorced. Because he only went on holiday and then got another family, you know. Happens all the time. Just be careful.
Yeah, Lord. Let's keep listening. Let's just keep watching the videos.
Women are drawn to black men. The answer isn't just about looks. It's deeper, more emotional, and even cultural. Many white women say they find black men naturally confident and expressive. Their charisma, energy.
Somebody type dusty black man in the chat room. Dusty. Somebody type dusty.
And ability to make people laugh stand out. Others admire their strong sense of identity, resilience, and pride, traits built from generations of strength and perseverance. Physically, some are attracted to their athletic build, deep voice, and unique sense of style. But beyond appearance, many say black men bring warmth, honesty, and passion into relationships. They often communicate openly and make their partners feel valued and protected. For others, it's about exploring diversity, breaking social barriers, and experiencing life from a new perspective. In a world that often...
Now remember, I just want to remind you that there was a young lady who wanted me to hold black men accountable. And so we have to determine, we laying the foundation. So this is where we at. We're holding somebody type accountability.
Often divides people by race. Love becomes the bridge that connects hearts. At the end of the day, attraction doesn't follow rules or color lines. Sometimes it's just about chemistry, respect, and connection. Because when two hearts meet, skin color doesn't matter. What matters is the bond they share.
All right, let's look at some more propaganda. Y'all hit the number one button.
Proved that yes, indeed, according to her, once a white woman goes black, she's never going back. Just listen to what she said.
What about him? Is he like someone that's so tight?
I don't like white men.
Why not?
I just never found them attractive.
So what's your preference?
Dark skins, dreadheads.
Okay, so what made you go dark?
My first boyfriend just happened to be black, and after that I just, didn't go back.
He said happened to be like you happened to be like you just fell on it, right? And it was just there. It just happened to be, oh my God, it was just, it's there. And I just really, okay, we'll keep listening.
This lady said she can't date her own type, a light-skinned person, because her favorite is a black guy. And a lot of people are shocked. But what makes this whole thing interesting is the explanation she gave.
Black men or white men? You want the Morris Chestnut or the Ashton Kutcher?
Nah, give me my black man for sure. Give me my black man. Yeah.
And she probably from the Bronx. I don't advise any of you black men to date any women from the Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. I'm just telling you, brother, stay away from the Bronx. You don't want any women from the Bronx. And I'm sure there's some women from the BX that are listening to that. Leave them all alone. None of them. Walk away. Okay? Let's keep listening.
Why?
Because
especially if they're a Sagittarius through Capricorn, any of them, leave all from Sagittarius to Capricorn, leave all of them alone. Nothing from the Bronx. Let's keep going.
I'm not really the type to date a white man. No.
The white man don't want you, baby girl, but go ahead.
That's the Kutcher for you?
Honestly, even in my own race, like, you know, like, I can't date a light skin, like, I can't.
She Latina from the Bronx. I'm trying to tell you, don't do it, fellas. Don't do it. Go to Brooklyn. Go to Long Island. Get your little Italian from Long Island. Deal with the racism from her Italian dad. Leave these women from the Bronx alone. I'm gonna do a special broadcast on Latinas from the Bronx that have arrived on Earth between Sagittarius and Capricorn. You understand me? Let's keep listening.
You know, that caramel, you know, that little chocolate, you know.
So what you like about black men?
Everything. It's not one specific thing. It's everything. Everything comes with everything. With everything, for sure.
Why do you think a lot of white women these days are becoming more interested in dating black guys?
Shit, I don't
Share
know.
your thoughts in the comments.
Somebody type Dusty in the chat room. You Dusties. Somebody type Dusty in the chat room. Let's keep listening to what these ladies are saying. Here we go. The vampire lady.
Long story short, a black American man requested that I make this video through my DMs on Instagram. So I was like, okay, it's a good topic. We're going to do it. So black American kings, what are their best options for dating? Now, I'm going to say exit America. Obviously in America, if you've got money, new money, you dress the part, you're going to be quite popular anyway. Mm-hmm. If you want to deviate, I think the fact that you're American and you have this swag kind of accent, you know, you'll be just fine. It doesn't, right.
I just want each and every one of y'all to know that she scares Jesus out. She's scary to me. This woman right here, if she just got a flashlight and put it up on her head like that, and looked at me, I would run out the other room. You hear me? She would scare me. Go ahead, ma'am. Y'all ever use a flashlight and put it on your chin and look in the mirror? You know, when you're like 7 years old in the bathroom and you put the flashlight under your chin and with the lights out in the bathroom and look in the mirror. I mean, you know, not me. I didn't do it. But I'm just saying, if you ever did that as a child, it would have you very afraid. You would be afraid. That's the type of fear that I have. She's scary. But let's keep going.
I would say if you're American to the rest of the world, that's a 10 out of 10. That's a good catch. The fact that you're a black king is great. You're gonna more attract the snow bunnies though.
We're dusty, baby. You can't call us black kings. We are dusty. Okay, you calling us a black king is inappropriate. We've been labeled dusty. Shout out to all the dusty black men that I'm holding accountable tonight.
In general. So if you go somewhere like Germany, there are so many of them. That's a great destination for you.
She said there's so many snow bunnies in Lord Jesus. Where's Dr. Umar? Somebody call Dr. Umar. Go ahead.
Hey, there's this hot American guy who's also a black king. King. You're going to be doing so well in Germany.
Type black king in the chat room. You're going to do well in Germany. Boy, somebody type delicious. Brothers, they think you're delicious. Okay, let's keep looking.
White men won't date a white woman who dates black men has everything to do with penis. Literally. That's what it is. A lot of people believe like, oh, a white man won't date a white woman that dates black men because of her standards and she's lowering her standards. No. They only have that problem with their white fathers or their white brothers because you got this nigga coming in here.
What? Look, I was listening. You can't be throwing them N-words around. We keeping this dignified. We're going to be dignified tonight, ma'am.
They're trying to touch our assets. A lot of the times, a lot of men won't fuck with you if they know that a man has fucked you with a bigger penis than them. Because men are so egotistic. They're so fucking stupid. That's the wild thing. White men don't got no rhythm. But look, the vast majority of white men don't got no rhythm. You know what I'm saying?
You will not be allowed to talk about my white nationalist followers like that. Dear white nationalist followers, I apologize for this rhetoric that this woman is spewing. It's ridiculous. I know you all are coming here waiting to throw the N-word at me and be mad. I don't give a damn. Okay, as long as you're looking so I can get some money. But look, you will not sit up here and accuse these white kings of having shortcomings, ma'am. Let's keep going.
There's already been this illusion and a delusion that black men got the bigger penises in the world. You know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking she's speaking from a personal opinion. Do you have a white boyfriend, ma'am? What is her name? I want y'all to go find her on TikTok because she seemed to me like she's had a conversation with some white men, and he probably sat up in the bed with her and said, "Well, how am I?" He trying to compare, and she probably had that conversation. But you all right, Brad? It's okay. You're fine, Brad. That's what's going on. You know too much, Miss. What's her name? I can't see the name. You know a little too much. You done dated Brad, and you and Brad done had that conversation. You try to make Brad feel better. It's okay, Brad. It's fine. It's fine. I know I feel. No, is it in? I mean, yeah, I feel. It's fine, Brad. You had that conversation. You up there trying to console Brad. That's what it sounds like to me. You know too much, trying to be innocent. You done been on both sides. You done been on both sides. I can look in your eyes. I'm looking at you. I can see what's going on here. You done had to console some Brads. They be like, no, my ex-boyfriend, his name was Tyrone. You're fine. No, you're fine. It's okay. You try to talk. I know how black women talk when they date the white dudes too. And they, oh my God, yeah, you try to make your nose seem, your nasal patch, and talk more like that. Like your phone voice when you're at your job. Hi, yeah, who is this? This is Keisha. Oh my God, I didn't know I was talking to Keisha. She sounds so different. Yeah. That's what you did. You up here trying to console Brad, making Brad feel, but the truth is, like the black guys do have, we know what you're doing. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
So white man knows that this white girl's over here fucking black. They're like, bitch, you getting Genuine and Tyrese dick. What the fuck am I about to do with that, bitch?
That's what he told you. He told you, Brad told you, you've been messing with Genuine and Tyrese. That's what he told you. He told you that. You probably made him feel bad. You probably like, nah, that's all right. You ain't got to come. I like you. You're so nice, Brad. But I don't know if, it's going to work out. It's just not my thing. What do they say? I'm not ready for a relationship right now after he done smashed. After he done gave you them, that ivory, after you got that Danny DeVito, you was like, well, I guess I just better go back to Tyrese but I can't stand goddamn Tyrese. I can't stand him. But you thought you was gonna run over there to the other side. That's what you did. You thought you was gonna run over there to the other side and you was gonna be coming back to the family reunion and the cookout with your white boyfriend. And then you was like, I can't live like this. That's what happened. I could tell. You got that guilty look. You got that guilty look on your face, miss. You done been on both sides of the fence.
I got Kurt Cobain dick, girl. I can't keep up with Genuine.
You speaking from experience. You speaking from experience.
Tyrese, I can't.
Ain't no white man coming up with those kind of euphemisms. That's what you was telling him. You was telling him he had the Kurt Cobain. I know what you're doing. I ain't gonna let you
What that
talk
should
too much
be, y'all. Like, please
I
don't make
see
men
that,
more.
you see how she blinked? That's it. That's how you know. That's how you know right there. That's guilty. Somebody type guilty in the chat room. Guilty. We know what you've been doing. We know what you've been doing. Got them brads out there feeling inadequate because you in here. You are up in here comparing. Oh, did you have an orgasm? No, it's okay though. It's okay. I'm tired. I know what you've been doing. Guilty. Guilty is charged. Guilty. Busted. Look at that. Look, you can tell. Look at his face. I can look at it and tell what she been doing. Lying to Brad, trying to make, you done went over there to Brad and thought you was going to get away from Tyrone and Tyrese. And then Brad didn't make you glad. And then you was trying to like make Glad feel better and just, no, it's okay. No. And now you've been buzzed. You went back to Tyrese. He done got a whole nother woman pregnant. You still, man, I know what you're doing. I know what you did.
As soon as they hear you have messed with a man that has certain assets and certain physical traits that he don't got, they really be trying to figure out why you like him. And a lot.
You hear what she said? You with a man that don't really have the physical traits that you like, and they be trying to figure out why you done left that boy with the insecurities. He was one of the J6 people. You ruined him. You did it. You are the reason that we got all these little racist white boys running around here, angry with the world. You did it. You heard what she said? I mean, he's a man, you don't even feel attracted to him like that. And then, you trying to make her feel better, and he don't understand. And he like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Man, you told me. Now you done dismissed. We know who you are. I know what you did. Don't lie to me. The
thing is that when you see a white man or somebody of a different race coming at a black woman, a lot of the times they know what they working with. A lot of the times they know they can keep up with the niggas. That's the loud thing with Travis.
Why they get to be white men and we got to be N-words? I'm gonna walk away.
And Nick with Alandria. It's because black men naturally embody what a masculine man is. And I believe that's one of the main reasons why when you see white men dating black men, they literally look like light-skinned black men. But they look more masculine, like they embody masculine, you know what I'm saying? Even the ones that don't look like they're mimicking a black man or a light-skinned man or whatever the case may be, they still come off like a tough white guy, you know what I'm saying? Like a Viking, you know what I'm saying? And one thing about men is that they're very realistic on who's a better man than them.
Lying. Y'all know she lying. We know what you did. You out here breaking heart. You done told that man he ain't big enough. You don't feel nothing. He ain't hit them walls right. Let's let some more white women talk.
Man dating a black woman. Yes, I am side-eyeing you. No, I will not be explaining any further. Love you. Mwah! What? Is that racist? But this isn't.
If you're a black man dating a white woman, yes, I am side-eyeing you. No, I will not be explaining any further. Love you.
I mean, y'all look like y'all could be cousins, little girl. Let me get you up out of here. That look like your big sister or something. Your daddy, your mama got a black one. Let's go on to a real white woman.
Black guys at all?
I do, yeah.
For real?
Yes, definitely. I think if anybody can, hate to sound cliche, if somebody can take my heart away.
She looked like she been drinking a little bit. That's y'all gonna catch a case. You better, if you ever get a white girl talking to you like that, my expert legal advice to you is just go ahead and walk away. Okay, that's what you need to do. But go ahead, little lady, go ahead. When they start moving like that, case. Somebody type charge in the chat room. Somebody type charge in the chat room. That's a charge waiting to happen. Let's go ahead and demonstrating y'all love. Who y'all trying to prove this to? Y'all dealing with the racism. That's what you're on the internet. man. That's why you get in the comments, y'all on the internet with women, bro. They go, of course, people. It's the internet. People gonna say crazy stuff to you, man. I mean, let's move on to the next one. They just broadcasting. Let's see who else we got around here. Oh,
Know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men. They're not. You don't own shit. And it kind of started, way back in the day. Since we got to go way back there. You know how we were separated and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right?
Sneaky
as things evolved.
Somebody type sneaky link in the chat. You said grandma was in the sneaky link with the black dudes. That's what you try to tell her.
Things evolved. Got better. We started to mingle together. And
somebody type mingle in the chat room. Is that what mingle? Mingle? Okay.
That made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more. And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other.
Okay.
I just think they liked each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you're mad about it?
And see, these women they're trolling black women. Okay, understand what's going on. This is straight up trolling black women. Shout out to International Quiet Storm. They trying to get this rage bait out here. Look at this look. That man is got a meme going on. Let's keep looking at these. Here's another one. Let's hit the number one, baby. Look at that look. Ooh, this girl got that look on her. Oh, baby, why you looking like that? Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm staring at you. How?
Oh Lord.
Is there a problem? Not really. Saddled over there with your black man accessory, and I'm just tired of that story. To be honest, it's basic. But that's just me, personally. Okay. Maybe I'm just a good woman. Huh? Like a good girlfriend?
Why you even say something back? You shouldn't even say nothing. You should have just been like, okay, yeah. Why you even, come on now. You need to calm down, Becky. You are surrounded. This is not the place. This is not the time nor place. Okay, let's keep going.
Maybe I add value to his life.
Oh, add value. Basically said maybe I add value. I'm a good woman. In other words, you're not a good woman and you don't add value. Ma'am, this is not the place. You're gonna get your hair pulled and you're gonna get it wrapped around and twist to the ground. Okay, I'm trying to help you. You just sometimes it's best just be quiet. Sometimes don't say nothing. Okay, you just gotta don't say nothing. Just like look the other way. Don't look. I know the side of your head gonna get hot because she's gonna be looking at you. But just look the other way. Don't do it.
Since he was doing community theater,
See, she got that short haircut. That means she can run fast and she's strong. She probably hold her hands like this. You don't fight people like this. See that short haircut? She could fight. She probably ran track in high school. You don't want to fight her.
I cleaned. I've had his back from the very beginning. I've always supported him. Maybe two good people found each other, and I'm a
In other words, you wasn't good enough. You
good woman who found a good man.
Oh no, not that look. That's how my mama used to look at me when she came home and I didn't take a chicken out the refrigerator. Does anybody have that memory too? My mama used to look at me like that. When she come home, kick them shoes off at the front door, put her bag down, and she realized I had been watching cartoons all afternoon and Wild Kingdom and did not, sometimes they like have a Transformer, GoBots marathon, and I get caught up. And then that's how she would look at me when I forget to take that chicken out the refrigerator. Did anybody have any never mind. My bad. Flashbacks. Never mind.
Bitch, don't even act like you don't know what's going on out here. You got all the advantages in the world to be a good woman. You can afford to invest early. I ain't got time to be sitting out here with no community theater ass for 8 years and wishing on the goddamn star. There are plenty of good black women, but you don't see Brad Pitt trying to date Shonda Rhimes. No. Type beautiful woman in Google Images, honey. Then you can talk to me. I just love Devion. Bitch, I love him too.
Don't say nothing else. Just be quiet. Don't why you egging that on, girl. You gonna get slap boxed up in there. She gonna kick her shoes off and get the whooping on you. And you better be quiet. Sometimes you gotta know when to be quiet. You can't win all the arguments, ma'am. Let's keep going and listen to this.
After being married to a Mexican man. Good. Good. That's good news. Why are you saying it like it's bad news? That's good news. I don't want any man to touch me except my husband. So why are you saying it like that's a bad thing? Hold on, let me get a piece of paper and a pencil. Go ahead and name some things that will also make other men not want to touch me other than my husband. Please. I know for sure there's some other people who would.
You know what? That's too much energy. I can't take all that energy. Too late in the evening for me to deal with all that energy. She just talking and talking and talking. Let's move on to somebody else. Hit the number 1 button if you hear me clearly. All right. Praise Moses.
Women are interested in black guys. More white women are openly dating black men, and it's not by accident. This growing interest comes from a mix of attraction, exposure, and changing mindsets. Many white women find black men physically appealing, confident, and emotionally.
Not the black men. You must be talking about another group of. Is there another group of black? We're dusty. Somebody type dusty black men in the chat room. I know they're not talking about these black men that don't take care of their kids. And come on, what else? What's the rest of them? We don't take care of our kids. We don't take baths. Pick something. We got fake social security numbers. Just pick all the stuff. The reason we have so much crime in America is black men. And did I say dusty? We dusty. We don't get married. The toe next to our big toe is bigger than the big toe. All we do is play basketball and Call of Duty. And we don't, so I know you can't be talking about us dusty black men, but I'm gonna let you figure.
Expressive. With the global influence of black culture through music, fashion, and sports, curiosity has turned into genuine interest. It's also about feeling valued. Some white women say they feel more appreciated by black men, respected, seen, and loved in ways they didn't expect. This shift isn't about a trend or fetish. It's a sign of progress where people are choosing love beyond race.
Your type? I think my type is physically the opposite of me. So, dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes. Like, that's what I like.
Black men or white men? You want the Morris chestnut or the ass?
I don't fool with you no more. You already back to the Bronx. Well, I'm just letting you all see these dusty men that you all want me to hold accountable. The sister wanted me to hold. Did y'all see the message that we started? She wanted me to hold these dusty black men.
So I got a question for the white men and the white men only. Why do y'all get so dramatically?
First of all, ma'am, this is a black run broadcast. Okay. That's the first thing you need to understand. Okay. Okay. This is a black run. So you asking questions for white men. Now, if I have some white nationalists here in the channel, you want to come in and talk to this young lady and answer on behalf, I'll be more than happy to relay your response. But that's the first thing. Let's address me. Okay. Let's address me up in here. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna let you finish out of respect. But next time, make sure you talk to me first. All right.
Offended when a white woman is dating a black man.
Because they territorial. They don't want you out there messing up. You heard what the other women said already. Dating that black dude and he just knocked down all you. He just get up in there and just, you know what I'm saying? You got to just, he just split y'all up down there. Just split y'all up down there. They don't want to come behind that. That's a mess. You just all split up down there. Shit. Shit. like throwing a basketball down the hallway, just all split up. He can't do nothing with that. Don't they have a little surgery or something? They can get it all stitched back together. He ain't coming after that. You've been messing around. You out there messing around with these dudes, and now you want to come back and you're ruined. You're ruined. Okay, you're ruined. That's why he's telling you about yourself. You understand? Shit. That's what happened. Mess with them black dudes. Darn it. That's why he mad at you out there. And then you want to come back to him. You want to come back to Brad and Jason. Huh? You should be ashamed of you. That's what he wants you. He wants you to be ashamed of yourself. Okay? That's what's going on.
Why? Like, can I know?
But you know what? You know why.
I don't get it.
You know why.
Is it for like the views and the likes?
They not doing
Is it just because you're bored and you want something to talk about? Like, you didn't want me. The hell?
That's because first of all, you're a little aggressive. Okay? You're a little aggressive and you're a little loud. Okay? Maybe if you tone it down a little bit, you can get you a good white man. Maybe you get you a good Brad or a Tom, or a good Jeremy. She looks like she would date a Jeremy. How about a Jeremy? That's what you need. But you're too loud. You're aggressive. You got all that makeup on. Calm down. Calm down. You see, that's what you need to do. Calm down. Everybody's not going to deal with all that loud talking and aggression. You need to calm down. Okay? That's what you need to do. But the other, you got to deal with the fact that you've been split wide open. You split up. Got the Grand Canyon down there. Don't nobody want to come behind that. There ain't no rehabilitating that. Stuff just falling out. Right on out of it. Right on out. Nothing can hold up in it. The baby just come out 3 months early. Coming out. You understand? There ain't no brakes on that thing now. Shoot. Keep going.
I look a whole damn mess and my black king love me.
And you sound like you don't sound like you don't sound like a white girl's supposed to sound. That's another thing. Little ghetto, little bit, little hood. You've been look. I see what your problem is. I see what your problem is. That's what's going on. Go on here. Somebody type Curious Becky in the chat room. Curious Becky. That's what happened. Mm-hmm.
I woke up like this, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me know.
No. Let
me know, white man. Lay you bye.
No, that's why he don't want you. You're ghetto. You're a little ghetto Italian looking Middle Eastern girl. That's why he don't want you. Don't blame that white man. Don't blame your ghetto. That's what your problem is. Your ghetto. You speaking ghetto, like you're gonna be on a goddamn what's that girl's name? Glow. You're gonna be like on Glorilla next soundtrack. That's what it sounds like. No. I understand. Don't blame him, boo. Don't blame him. Let's look at these two little ladies.
Any black American men who live in Queensland. Do you live here in Queensland? Well, fuck.
This is Australia. You down in Australia? You down in Australia? They down in Australia. Huh? These are some Aussie Beckys. These are some Aussie Beckys down in Australia.
I'm gonna catch their attention. You see, because we're going out tonight and we're just wondering, anybody want to come party? Anybody want to come just...
No, we dusty. We dusty. We can't come down there. Remember, we're dusty. I'm holding black men accountable today. All right, y'all hit the like button if you're mad. I want all you angry people to hit the like button. Okay, I know you're mad. Subscribe to the channel. We're gonna have some. I don't know where the critics are. Okay, I did this whole broadcast. I had something else planned. I was gonna keep talking about the stuff I wanted to talk about. Tonight was actually tether night. Tonight, I was going to talk to some tethers tonight. That's what you call them, the black immigrants. I had something for y'all tonight. It was going down, but then I got this criticism. I got the criticism. You want me to hold black men accountable, but I can't seem to get these white women to hold black men accountable. They are not calling them dusty. I have yet to have one call these black American men that y'all claim does. I was looking for the evidence, but these snow leopards are not calling black men dusty. Okay, and so I'm at a loss. All right, I'm at a loss for words. Let's listen to this little Australian Outback Steakhouse snow bunny.
You know? Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Do that one. Do that one.
Oh no, y'all look like y'all. No, y'all look like y'all about that life. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's dangerous. That's dangerous too. Let's see what else this one got to say. This little.
So apparently I'm awful. It's a cute little act.
We're gonna get you out of here, baby girl. You're a little past, you're a little long in the tooth. A little too long in the tooth for the brothers. Let's move on and see what else we got. Okay, what you talking about?
Where we are as a society, it's here. Why do white girls like black men? Let's see the comments. No standards. I feel they have a low self-esteem, get anything better. Why is it always people like this that think they're the superior race?
Well, I don't know. Maybe that makes
Because them and ones don't get no white male attention. Well, I'm a white dude. I tattooed my black to get all the FAT white women hanging low with a pretty afro.
These dudes would not be accepted by Hitler's Third Reich into the youth, the Hitler youth. They don't look quite white. Somebody say not quite white.
Spelled trailer trash wrong.
Yeah. So, oh my God,
stupidity, mudshakery, anti-white education.
No, y'all not gonna make it.
They like being single moms.
All this stuff that. See, here's the thing. All this stuff that they say about black men, and it seems not to be dissuading these white queens from running after these black men. Maybe they need to come up with a better word than dusty, because dusty seems not to be working. Okay, again, tonight we're holding black men accountable, and I'm doing it the best I can. But this is the common consensus. It's hard to hold black men accountable, and I want you to listen to what I'm saying. It's very difficult to hold black men accountable when they have all these damn options out here. Okay, and these are just the white women. These are the ones that have been born and bred and raised to hate black people, specifically black men. I mean, y'all heard what I said earlier. I mean, we are at fault for everything, and you got all these white women who know that we don't take care of our kids. We got bad credit. All we do is eating fried chicken and watermelon all day, and yet, they still running after them in drugs. How do you hold a group of men like this accountable? This is like trying to hold Superman accountable. How do you do it? He just gonna get out the handcuffs. No more, Tyrone. You a no good man. And then he just, that's like putting Superman in the handcuffs, and he just like, I'm gonna walk out to jail. And then he go over there, there's a whole bunch of other women that ready to snatch him up. How do you hold a man like that accountable? Ladies, you want me to hold black men accountable? How can I hold them accountable when they got all these women out here, these white women who have been raised and trained to hate them, and y'all heard the rhetoric. How do I hold them accountable? I need y'all to let me know. Explain
With
this to me.
Self-care is good, right? They go and get their eyebrows done. They go in the sauna after the gym. They always go to the gym. They do exercise a lot. They get pedicures. They get manicures. Not with the color, but they make sure that they maintain their nails, And
you know a lot about black men's habits, ma'am. How do you know so much from Latvia? How do you know all of what black men are doing? And you wasn't up at the little Chinese damn pedicure spot a couple years ago when I was getting that corn scraped down. How do you know? Okay, I need to know how you know so much. Huh? How do you white women know about what we doing? We don't even live around each other. The white man told you to leave us alone, and you're over here spying on us. And here's the thing: we need to be dusty in the black community. Okay, and we need our black queens to be able to hold us accountable, and you're not helping as long as you're presenting them with the option to go over there with you. Okay, you have been trained to believe that we're low-life scumbags. That's what they told you. I know the white man been telling you that. They got millions and billions of dollars and all this propaganda, And and you're not supposed to be presenting us with the option. Okay? It's making my job hard, okay? Because somebody asked me to hold these black men accountable, but how do you hold somebody accountable when you got all these other options? Accountability requires a limit on options, and if they got all these options, how do I hold them responsible? And why do all these women like these black men, okay, and they so dusty? I need to understand that. Help me understand why all these other women like these dusty black men, right? And then I'm sitting up here supposed to hold them responsible. Ridiculous. Hit the number one.
They use coconut oil. They use body lotion generally every day.
How
Even
do
black
you know?
women, like they use a lot of body lotion. They have a lot of.
She said they use a lot of body lotion. Y'all come out there, had a whole room smelling like cocoa butter and baby oil. That's what she said. Y'all out here smelling like Egyptian musk. Is that what you're doing? That's what you're doing. Let's keep looking, man.
Oils in their skin, which keeps them looking youthful. So I can see why the bunnies are bunnies.
The bunnies.
But the question is, do the Slavic women want these men? Obviously.
Damn.
Slavic women pay so much attention to appearance.
Let me find out. Aaron, one of y'all in this chat room has sat up here and booked a ticket to Yugoslavia. Let me find out. I bet not find an uptick in flights to Yugoslavia. You going over there to hang out with them. I hope they draft your black butt and send you to fight the Russians in Ukraine. Y'all bet not be start booking them tickets. We are not doing that today. You all will take your talking to, you black men, you dusty black men will be held accountable. If it's the last thing I do today, you are going to be held accountable. Okay, y'all. Some of y'all can't spell Slavic. You even, it's too much like slave. You take your black behind over there if you want to. You're gonna be a Slav. You're gonna be a slave. They're gonna have you out there picking European cotton over there. That's what you're gonna be doing. Keep playing. Keep on playing with these people.
They love a man who takes care of his appearance. Although they're not overly bothered about how beautiful you are, if you take pride in yourself, like
in other words, y'all ugly. They're still a bit ugly, you know. They're a bit ugly because they're black. But I mean, they got they smell good. They smell like cocoa butter. It's just like taking a holiday down in Thailand. They smell delicious. Delicious. That's what they're saying. Keep on, they come lathered up. Y'all come in there lathered up.
Like black men do, then that's a really good thing. But the thing is, there aren't many of you guys in the Slavic world.
Hell
so
no.
If you go
they
there,
don't even know what that is, ma'am. They don't even know. If you can't get there from Atlanta or Detroit or DC and take a direct flight, they ain't going. You can catch them down in Miami on South Beach, though. They'll be in South Beach. That's where you can catch. They ain't going. They don't know what that is. It's too many flights. It's like 2 flights, 2 big flights, and then a little small propeller plane. They're not coming over there. Okay? Good for them. Don't y'all go over there. You better leave these white women alone. These Slavic, I don't even know what that is. Okay, I don't know what it is. Yugoslav, what is that short for? Okay, she's making my job hard, man. You're making my job difficult. I'm trying to hold these dusty black men responsible and accountable, okay, and you trying to get them over there. And some of them are weak. They weak in the mind. They look at you like, oh man, I can have that. They want us like that? They want us like that? Boy, let me check my PayPal and see if I got enough money to get this ticket. Let me see if I got enough points with United to see how I can ease over there. I know what they're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, and you show them what life is all about for you.
Mm-hmm. Sweet. Oh, you nasty. You are nasty up in here. What are you doing, white woman? What are you doing? That's nasty. That's why them white men are so mad right now. That's why all these white men are angry with y'all. Y'all
very attracted to black men. I feel like they're just so exotic looking, and I also like their upbringing because we have very similar upbringing.
Black people in America and Russians have similar
very
upbringing.
strict.
What does this mean? What does strict mean?
Like, you have to respect your elders.
This is a big Russian woman, the big blonde haired, blue eyed Russian woman. She like black dudes too, boy. Boy, it's hard to hold these women. I mean, how do you hold these men responsible? They got all these.
It's like, if you have food on the plate, you have to finish the plate. Family values. It's like very.
So you just Slim Shape. You just gonna come up here and put up where the Yugoslavia places are. That's what you're doing. This is what you're gonna do. We're trying to create accountability. We have an accountability circle going, Slim Shady, and you're not helping. None of you guys are helping. Okay, not one of y'all is helping. Okay, they don't need to go over here and deal with this big Russian woman. She probably squeeze. I mean, she looks strong. Look at that chin. Look at that Viking-esque chin, right? She looks powerful, boy. Y'all ain't right. I'm holding y'all accountable. I'm holding you dusty black men accountable tonight.
Very similar. So a lot of times, and I can have a very deep and spiritual conversation with a black person. I can count on my hand how many times I had a deep and spiritual conversation with a white person in America. You would be surprised. That's why when I moved to Atlanta, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm home now.
You live in Atlanta and you feel talk about you at home? Oh my God. Hey, look, don't be going looking for her on Instagram. Y'all don't be over there looking for that girl, that Russian girl on Instagram. All you dudes from Atlanta, Alabama, Pensacola, don't be driving up to Atlanta looking for that big Rush. She don't want you. She don't want you or nothing you got going on. Okay? None of y'all. I'm tired of y'all.
Because it's like a lot of times it'd be like, oh my God, girl, no, I just can't. It's like, bro, speak words. I don't. What are you doing? What does this mean? Or it'd be so, if you say something, I haven't seen my family in 10 years. They'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I'm not asking for your sorry.
Yeah, we're just talking.
We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
And this.
We just having a conversation, ma'am. You're missing a few prepositional phrases in there. Sounds like you've been hanging around with a lot of black people. Sounds like you got the intel. You are definitely part of Putin's KGB female force. You are a Black Widow type. You are doing recon. Okay, I see you've studied the black man. I see it now.
Whole thing of like this white American notion of saying I'm sorry about everything. It's like, why are you sorry? I didn't ask you for that. I'm not begging you for sorry. I'm actually sharing my thoughts, and I'm expecting you to share your thoughts back.
She look too strong for the tipper. She's strong. She's strong. That she gonna need to be handled. You got to handle her. Yes, Lord. Let's keep on looking. Praise God. This is too much. I'm doing the best I can to hold these fellas accountable. It's hard to do with all these options. Maybe somebody else has something to say.
Again, but the best couple in the world is a black man and a Japanese woman.
Hold on a minute.
Why? Because in Japan they don't ever see black guys, and Japanese.
Y'all got all the ninjas and samurai warriors over there and all that technology. You can't find you a little Japanese man over there. Why you look? So now not only are the white women talking about they want these dusty black men, but now you got Japanese women over here talking about they want these dusty black men that I'm supposed to hold responsible. Somebody type Wu-Tang Clan in the chat room. Somebody type Wu-Tang. You see them? You see what I'm telling? I hope you all understand where I'm going with this accountability that you all want. You want me to hold black men accountable. How in the heck do you hold somebody accountable when they could just up and leave and have all these other options all around the world? That's like, I'm gonna hold you accountable for paying this rent and they got to pay for a house mansion across town. How do we do that? Ladies, how do you hold any man accountable anywhere? You can't even hold your baby daddy accountable. Your mama couldn't hold your daddy accountable. How do we hold a group of 20 million black men accountable for something they ain't had nothing to do with? I'm just talk to them. Let's be honest with each other. Hold them accountable? Really? What do you want me to tell them? You want me to tell them they're mean and bad and they need to take care of their kid? I don't know what you guys want me to do, especially look at this. They got all these people over here begging for them to show up and they don't have to do anything but be themselves. I'm talking to you and I'm just asking questions. I think that's holding black men or anybody accountable has run its course, but we'll talk.
These girls go feral. If they're gonna be like, can I touch your hair? Wow, your hair's just dreads. I want that in my hair. Japanese girls are known to be super, super submissive, docile, won't fight back with you. Just focus and they will clean.
That was a direct shot out at black women. They won't fight back. They're docile, they're submissive. See, here's the thing, ladies. When they hear all this stuff about what you say about black men, and a lot of these women who could be lying through their teeth, because pretty much I've realized most women are pretty similar in certain regards. But they're basically saying, see, I'm not that black woman. Because you told all these women all your business. You understand what I'm saying, ladies? You told these women all your business. You know, I'm a strong black woman. If they're strong, I'm going to just go ahead and tell them, oh, I'm docile. You see what I mean? And this is why old people tell you keep your business out the street. Let's keep lit. You don't let another woman in your house. You understand? As a matter of fact, I got a little video I want you to see, a little timely little video, and I'm going to let the old people tell you, listen to this.
When I was a small girl, I'm talking about a small girl coming up, I used to hear some of my mama conversations, right?
What'd you say?
But I remember my mama always telling me, Rita, when you get a husband, you don't allow your friends to be around your husband. She said, because you know what? They're watching them. She said, I'm telling you, they're going to be watching them. I'm like, they're
going to be watching.
You know, I'm young. I ain't want to hear nothing about that. She said, they didn't want to study all his habits and see how much he loved you and what he's doing with you.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, cool. She said, Rita, don't allow them inside your house.
They in our house now.
She said, because your friend will take your man now. The Rita that I am, I'm like this. If you can take him, then he needs to be gone, right? The other thing is, see, I'm a wise woman, though.
Sound good.
The Bible strictly says, don't let your left hand, come on now, know what your right hand is doing. So whatever you doing in your home is not your friend's business. She didn't tell me that because she thought I would grow up to be insecure. Because my mama know me. I don't play with no insecurity stuff. But let me tell y'all something.
I don't know what part of New Orleans she's from, but each one of you women listening to her right now, you need to book a session with her. Let's go back to this little Japanese woman.
Their house, most of the time, they stay quiet. Japanese girls love big lips. They're not used to seeing the big lips of the black man. So
all the brothers out there with big lips, I want all the brothers with big lips in the chat room to hit the #1 button. All the black men with big lip, all you big lip black men that they done told you was ugly when you was a little boy, you ugly and black and bald headed. The Japanese women want you. She said big lips. Really? We just big lip. Next we just gonna be nappy headed, right? We just gonna be nappy headed with big lips. This what you're saying, little Japanese lady with your little Harry Potter wand. Look, ladies, look, somebody that asked me to hold black men accountable. What do I tell black men when these women are saying, no, not only do we want you here, we want your big black lips, we want your dreadlock, your nappy dreadlocks, we want your black ass over here. Right now, that's what she's saying right now. How do I hold these dudes accountable in a global environment where, you know, a man can be anywhere in the world in less than a couple hours? They gonna get their credit. This dude's booking flights right now. This dude's headed to Osaka right now. They are booking flights. They somewhere in Indiana. Okay, like I'm gonna go ahead and fly down to California, and I can get a direct right to Osaka, and I'm gonna slide right up in there in Japan. It's some dudes trying to figure out where Yugoslavia is. You know what I'm saying? This is where we at. How do we hold somebody like that accountable? How do you hold any man accountable? You understand what I'm saying? I want you to think about it. It's not gonna work by force. You think you're going to force these men to do what you want to do? Men fight wars to prevent other men from forcing them to do. Go ahead, little Japanese lady. Go ahead. Finish.
When she finally gets her eyes on that sexy little pout pucker, she's going to put her hair up and she's going to go, oh yeah, I want that. The black man Japanese connection is...
She putting her hair up for. Hold on a minute. What you sliding your hair? What you about to do putting your hair back?
It's just gonna go, oh.
Why you need to get your hair out the way? Why you moving your hair back out the way? Well, why? I want to know why she moving the hair back out. Why you got to move your hair out the way? What you about to do that you got to move your hair out the way of your face? Tell me. I want to know because it looked like you got some experience doing it. Dressed like a little freaky little outfit on. That's what it looked like. One of them little freaky little, the little freaky little outfits, just like schoolgirl freaky outfit with your Harry Potter one. You look like you've been doing something to me, and now you're putting your hair back. You know too much. Putting your hair. I listen to people. That's the difference between me and all these people on the internet. I listen to what people say. People tell you who you are if you listen to them. Praise God. And I listen. I listen with both my ears and I hear them with my essence. I know what you do. Put your hair back. Somebody type hair back in the chat room. Hair back. What are you gonna do when you put your hair back? You probably got the little scrunchie ready already. Is that what it's called? A little scrunchie or something like that? No, you know what she probably do? She probably put it back and whip it. Don't even need the scrunchie. You're used to it. The Lord is watching you. The Lord is watching you.
The black man Japanese connection is.
What you doing with that stick?
Legendary. Looking for a Japanese girl? Go to Japan because you're gonna get at least 6 girlfriends.
See, they booking flights right now. I can tell right now these dudes are booking flights. This is it's accountability night with Uncle D. We gonna still figure it out though. I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna figure out a way to hold these dudes accountable. Okay. Let's listen to this older lady. Let's listen to the
Going
older
out to the white ladies who have dated, are interested in dating, are currently dating black men. I recently did a post where I kind of looked at the phrase, once you go black, you never go back, which is something I heard 40 years ago. And
you heard it 40 years ago. Continue.
Apparently, there are plenty of white boys that are still using this phrase. And in fact, they like to correct it and tell me, well, once you go black, we don't want you back because we want them so badly. Yeah.
There ain't nothing you can do when they come back. The walls have been blowed out, sir. You don't want none of that. What you gonna do after that? What can you do after that? Ain't nothing you can do with it after that. I mean, there ain't nothing to come back to. It's over. You had your chances. It's like throwing a raisin through a chain link fence. It ain't gonna do nothing. Okay, it ain't gonna. You're done. You done. There ain't nothing to come back. Ain't nothing. If they came back, it's oh my God, Victoria, you've changed. She's different. Yeah, she's different. It's just not humidity, expansion, foundation change is not the same living quarters. Okay? So ain't nothing to come back to. All right. You don't want her, good. You could tell yourself that you wouldn't be able to deal with her anyway. Okay. But go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. 40 years ago.
Not white guys in general, but those white guys who would judge us for who we date. That is not
us. Oh, you've been okay. Truth comes out. You've been over there too, hanging out with the brothers. You're supposed to be afraid of us, ma'am. You come from a generation where they told you that the black man was a big black savage. He was a sexual savage, and he wanted to do all sorts of stuff to ravage your body, and just all he wanted to do was just get hold of you and just ravage your body and just and hurt you in ways that probably was appealing to you at that time, but you supposed to be afraid. We're supposed low IQ, dusty, predator, drug dealer, thug. Okay, you were supposed to succumb to the racial programming that told you to run away from the black man. So you failed at that job. You failed. You were supposed to be afraid. Okay.
Who I'm ever going to date. Not that I'm dating anybody, but because I'm married. So married? I just thought I'd learn some things.
You married and then you in your car reminiscing about what you was doing 40 years ago with who knows who. Some of our daddies probably met. What school, what college did you attend? What college did you attend? Because you in the car, You in your car right now. You a married woman in your car talking about what you was doing 40 years ago. That's what you doing? This is what you all you white men, I want you to take notice. So you gonna learn something on Uncle D's page. She's sitting in there. Why couldn't you do this in the house and den? Why didn't you have this conversation if you don't have anything to hide? Why wouldn't you have the conversation with the grandkids sitting there so they can hear what you were doing? Huh? I need to know. Why wouldn't you do that? You learn a lot. You never really know a person. Huh? Never really know a person. Go ahead and continue, Miss.
And I thought I would share this with you. Again, this is my white ladies who are dating, have dated, or think they might want to date black men.
And you speaking from experience, clearly.
We are called lots of things.
It's
depressing to go and look at all the names that we are called. Not depressing because it makes me feel bad about myself, but depressing because there are so many low life, vile humans on the planet. I mean, I knew there were some.
What you mean? That's the white man mad at you. Don't nobody else care. But ma'am, but I look like you had a good time, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Hello, the election. But I didn't realize they were this ignorant and vibrated at such a low level.
They know exactly what happened to you. They know exactly what's going on. Word got around. They know what happened to you. Go ahead.
But the one I had to look up, so I just wanted to give you a heads up on this. We are called salvage title. Ooh. So people were putting salvage title or they were putting salvage. And when I first saw it, I thought savage, but that doesn't make sense. No idea what it meant.
That means you was wrecked and somebody came and got you cheap, half off. So basically, sound you used to mess around with black dudes, and then some white man turned around and married you, and now the other white men are calling you salvage title. That's what's going on. You should, hey, baby girl, you should have stayed on this side. You should have stayed over some brothers right now. You should stay with Terrence or Jamal or something like that. 40 years ago, baby, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know.
It means we're like a car that has been totaled.
I just
no use. Wrecked. It's done. The title's been salvaged. It's a salvage title.
All the while wrecked.
Meaning the car is no longer viable. Yeah. So I've been compared to a toilet. I've been compared to now a totaled car. I've been compared to, they like to talk about my lady parts and how they are changed.
Well, I mean, is it true? Is it true? I mean, you brought it up. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but your lady parts have they changed? I'm just saying. You brought it up. You brought up your lady parts. I would not ever ask a lady about her lady parts, you know. But you brought it up. Have they changed? Have they changed? Huh? I mean, you know, we're waiting. Have they changed? Did you go and? I mean, was it a thing or was it a thing? You know, was it a little thing on a vacation weekend? Or was it like, I'm with him, you know, a couple of years? Because if it's a little thing, you might be able to recover from that. A little weekend thing, I had a great time in Tampa. But if it's a thing where you was with this guy, you know, this black guy, you with him a couple of years, your hips have shifted. Your hips, you know, your hips have shifted now. You know, a lot of black women tell you they start off, they got little narrow hips, and then brothers take them out, you know, pound town, you know, year after year after year, they get the little pouch in the front, the little stretch marks on the waist, and nice and wide, you know. Sisters usually can deal with that, you know, they can accommodate that, okay? And so they change. We expect that. You know, when women Black women don't grow that butt normal. It's a lot of work. A lot of brothers had to put a lot of work in to get that. You know, like if you looking at them, you know, and they got them two little dimples right there at the lower part of the back, and then it go up. It took a lot of work. We as black men collectively, we helped develop those together. It's a group effort. Yeah, man, you dated for a couple months. I'm gonna give her a baby, and you can send her on back out there, and then Leroy and them, they'll take care of it a couple years, you know, and that it spread. That's why we had a term auntie booty. You see, you got that auntie. They got that wide load coming through. Okay, and you might not you change. They change. You change. You can't put all that up into a woman and don't think it's gonna have some sort of effect. You can't put that up in there. Year after year after year, and year after year, and year after year, boom and boom and bam and boom and boom, and then it change. It's gonna change. Okay, it's gonna change. You're gonna be a different person down there, and then you trying to go back over to Brad. You said that's why they call you the mayor. You went through all that, right? And then you went back to and got you a Brad. And you mad because your white counterparts are calling you a salvage title. Because somebody picked you up on the way, I'll take it. You know, we'll put a little Bondo on the dents, and you know, the frame's cracked though, man. You sure you want this? The frame is cracked on this thing. Well, you know, I'm good, man. I don't need it. I don't need it for much. I don't drive long distances. I'll just drive it back and forth to the BFW, and you know, go see my grandkids with it. That's it. So old Brad got that salvage title after Tyrone and Jamal and Leon and Leroy and Uncle Clifford and just pounded it out. That's what happened. And you changed. Somebody type change in the chat room.
No, we can shoot 13-pound babies out of there, right?
Yeah, but
so
that's coming out. Okay, that's coming out, but it's something going in. You see, it's the difference. It's the trajectory is it. Boom, right up in there. Boom, that's different, baby girl. I mean, come on now, don't try to play this thing now. We know you trying to rationalize something that's obvious. We don't need to rationalize.
You think any appendage could damage us? No,
I believe it's so.
And that is the last time I'm talking about those parts on this app.
Well, you brought it up, so we're gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna run this. This is gonna be a permanent clip on my shorts. We're gonna keep talking about you, talking about how it didn't do nothing. 13 pounds. Who having a 13-pound baby? 13-pound baby. That's you exaggerating, trying to prove a point. Okay, you look, that Alabama black snake. That goddamn Georgia, that tall pine from Georgia, huh? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you've been messing around with that goddamn yeah, I know what you've been doing, miss. We know what you've been doing. You know too well. Let me get you up out
Anyways,
of here.
so ladies, listen. Here's what I think.
That's what guilt look like. All this is guilt. This is all guilt, right?
I think the great part about this is these guys are showing us exactly who they are.
Don't blame them white men for that. Don't you dare blame these good white men for calling. You do not. They know what you were doing, and you've been caught, and you just sat up here and told us, and the guilt is all on your face, okay?
Which I appreciate, because I would want to avoid the racist, ignorant, vile white boys like the plague. So just so you know, be very open and honest with who you've dated, who you want to date, so you can weed out.
Lady, don't you ever tell, white women, all the white women, come in here. Don't you ever tell a white man that you was dating a black man. You lied through your teeth. You take down all those photographs when you were young. You get rid of them. You delete that Instagram page. You tell them white man you dated a black man. If you're going to go white, you go back, you go clean slate, just keep moving forward and don't look back. Okay, get a new phone, get all everything. All right, get a new set of friends, move to a new town. Don't you tell no white man that you dated hell, it's worse enough. You don't even tell a man who you dated in the past, unless it's something that can affect them like a baby unless there's evidence. If it's a baby, and you got to talk about it. Okay, if it's a baby, they're like, yeah, I dated someone in the past, but other than that, you do not. You got all these women on here talk about how many bodies they got. Yeah, I got 20 bodies. Yeah, I got 20. They chickens talking football numbers. Yeah, it was 32-5. Probably 42-17. That's too many bodies. Don't say it. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, especially if you're a white girl done dated a black dude. Don't do it, baby. Don't nobody want to go behind that. Don't no other man want to try to come behind that. He working with a monster. You done dealt with a monster for 2 or 3 years. Just spread you out. Oh, just spread out. Okay, you just spread out down there. All right, and now you trying to go talk to somebody who, nah, that ain't right. Don't do him. He gonna be thinking about that every night. Every time he's gonna be thinking about all these ghosts of your past ghosts. Okay, and he like, am I satisfying my woman? He gonna be insecure. Don't even say nothing. Just be quiet. What's wrong with you women? Y'all ain't no, be quiet. Be quiet. Let me move on. I can't. Oh, don't you follow that advice from that woman. Don't you do it. Let's move on. Let's see what this one got to say. We're going to get back.
Probably going to be very controversial. I feel more safe in a space shared with black men than I feel very unsafe in a space shared by white men. Now, before y'all get your panties in a wad and get all pissed off about this, when I am surrounded by a bunch of white men,
okay,
I'm constantly looking around. I have no fear in a room full of black men. The reason why?
Why?
When I go to the movies.
Have you ever been in a room full of black men? In what capacity? I'm just asking.
I don't worry that a black man's gonna up the movie theater. When I go to my church, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the church. When I go to the mall, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the mall. When I go to my children's school, I don't worry that a black man's gonna the school.
Okay.
Black men
wanna the club. They'll shoot up the club. They probably will shoot up the club. But go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Room full of black men. Go ahead.
Target 1 or 2 or 3 individuals. White men will go schools, movie theaters, churches, your grocery store.
I want everybody in the chat room. I want all y'all collectively, everybody who's listening to me right now, everybody who's at the sound of my voice. When I count to 3, I want all y'all to go. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again for those who weren't ready. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. Yes, Lord. Room full of black men. Room full of black men.
Before you say that you're worried about being surrounded by black men, you better think about that.
They'd like to. I'm sure they would like to have you surrounded. The brothers would like to have you surrounded in a room. I'm sure they would like to have you surrounded. And they ain't gonna be trying to shoot up no movie theater. They're gonna be trying to shoot up the club.
Race.
Personally, I like chocolate. Opposites attract, pretty much. I just love, my type is chocolate. It is what it is. I would settle down with a dark chocolate, but with light skins, they're not settling downward. Yeah.
Oh, you basically just sat up there and you said you want to settle down with a black man. Where did all these little white girls come from? What happened? We need some more. What happened to the good old-fashioned white supremacy racism that forced them white girls to stay on their side of the fence? These little white girls are out here, okay? They are not holding back. You hear me? They are telling it. They are saying, this is what I want. I want it. You're not going to stop me from having it. Golly.
I can tell you who I'm going to marry, but I can tell you one thing. My kids are not going to be white. There's just no chance I'm gonna have white kids. I mean, I guess they'll be partially white because of me, but those baby. Listen, I love a brown man. I love a Middle Eastern man. I love a black man.
Say that again for the people in the back. Say what you say, girl?
Man, I love a black man.
Somebody's made you do that in live action.
I haven't really loved an Asian man, but I could go Blasian. Why not? The consensus is, I don't love you, white men.
That's so sad. That's so sad. All these white men are angry. I see now why they're angry. I'm tired. Y'all got me exhausted. This is too much. What you got to say?
Out to all the white girls who date black men that stay true to themselves. Ain't out here trying to be anybody else. Just being exactly who the freak they want to be, okay? Just being exactly who they are and being the best snow bunny that you can ever be. Snow bunnies forever.
She says no, but she's been listening to Dr. Umar. She basically made a diss track with Dr. Umar. Snow bunnies forever. Blah, blah, blah. Let's keep listening. We almost finished.
Because I've been with black guys, so like.
Have you ever been with some insecure white guys that like got insecure? Have you been with black guys?
Like, you know, you've ever dated a black man or something, they get so insecure about it. They say you're contaminated and stuff. Like, I've had guys tell me that multiple times. Yes, all the time. I think I'm contaminated.
Contaminated?
Yeah.
Why do you guys say that? Wait, what happened?
Because I've been with black guys, so like they just think I'm contaminated.
How do you feel? Do you think they're insecure?
Yeah, they get very insecure because they know that like they obviously have like, you know, don't.
What the hell?
Hold on a minute. What did you do, little lady?
That like they obviously have like, you know, don't.
What the hell? Let me try this again. What is she doing with her? What kind of hand motion is she making with her little hands? Lord Jesus, that's what you're saying. This is what you want. The little dude next is like, oh my God, that's as wide as my that's as long as my arm.
Don't.
What the hell?
Yeah, boy. That's what black men are doing out there. That's what you're out there doing. That is what you guys are out there doing. Y'all are out here.
He's so fine and divine. Look at him. Does I feel that?
That's what you like. That's what y'all like. Letting a little white woman fill you up like that. This what you did it for. Huh? Just let the little white woman just grab all up on you like old field slave. Like old buck. Huh? Coming in out singing Negro spiritual. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Hey. That's what you want. Man. Just let the old white girl just fill you up. Just grab all on you. This is what you did it for. I know. You should be ashamed of yourself. Clearly you're not. Clearly he's not. He's not ashamed. I can't tell him nothing. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to hold them accountable, but it's hard to do when they got all these people out there blowing their little heads up like that. You understand? That's the problem, blowing their little heads
are
up.
objectively attractive. This is not a hot take. So many white people look at beauty as simply being someone with white skin. It doesn't matter what that person's features are or how beautiful they really are. And I keep receiving comments on all of my posts about how people of color aren't attractive, how black women aren't attractive, and that is blatantly wrong. The reason you don't find them attractive is because you're lying to yourself because of
So she's saying y'all lying, y'all. They like us. They want to do. They want
white supremacy. I've even had people be like, "Oh, well, I find them attractive. I just won't date them to preserve my race and preserve."
In other words, I'll have as much sex as I can with one. I'm just not. I don't want any evidence. I don't want any little chocolate-nated babies. But that's what she's
preserve my culture. Thus, admitting literally what I'm saying. I mean, look at this. Look, I'm going to show you some people. I mean, these people are just objectively
beautiful,
absolutely stunning and beautiful. And a lot of celebrities who are people of color haven't had any work done. And they're so gorgeous.
You ain't got no way out there getting that work done. Look at my big ass nose. Look at that. See that? I ain't had no work done on that. I ain't around here like that. Yeah, you don't see me like that. Look, see? We don't have that work done. Can't nobody afford that. We trying to pay this rent.
Whereas the white beauty standard is having a lot of filler, being on Ozempic, really altering your body to be as thin as possible. Just because you are claiming that someone isn't attractive does not mean that that is a universal thing. In fact, in a lot of places outside of America and Europe, non-white people are the standard. You can say what you want, but stop declaring who you find attractive as objective fact because you're
Somebody type delicious. These white women think y'all are delicious. Somebody type, all you black men type delicious. They want to take y'all. They think they want to do something to you.
Fucking wrong.
Okay, go ahead, Becky. Let's get you out. I'm tired of listening to all this. I got to get back to my work. But let's try to finish it up. Let's see what else we got. Let's rub it in. Let's just rub it in.
I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love you, black man.
I love you, black man.
I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love you, black man.
How keep rubbing on him like he's a Christmas Day turkey. You look at that, man, just rubbing all up on him like that. Lord Jesus. Lord, nappy head, big lip. They like nappy head, big lip, black man, Lord Jesus.
Black men and why?
I am just not attracted to white men because for me, I feel like it's incestual. There's actually like this study that people of like the most opposite DNA are attracted to each other because when you come together and like make a child, you don't bring in like the bad aspects of your history. So it's like the closer you are in DNA.
My boy like, okay, well, let's do something then because we as far apart as possible. Let's keep going.
You're going to have like more health issues and like mental issues. And so I feel like that's why opposites attract. And also
she got it. She got all the justifications down. Well, I think we should date Tyrone because, you know, opposites attract and we have a better chance of having children with more gene diversity, and I think that would be good for their mental health and physical. She got it now. She gonna talk up on some wood. You the type of, when you come in there like, you live, man, I ain't never been with a white girl before, baby. You know, this ain't really my thing. Well, you know, I think she got it all written down. She got a script. She gonna pass you a pamphlet when you come in the front door. I see what's going on. She got the rap down. So it's really nothing to be afraid about. You know, we can have some mayonnaise sandwiches and sit up and eat some plain yogurt and, you know, watch, you know, reruns of Friends or something like that. And, you know, whenever you're comfortable, that's what's going on.
Birth control is proven to make people more attracted to people closer in their DNA. So like when people get married and have kids and go off birth control, they end up not attracted to their partner. So I think it's more of like a life survival type of thing.
It's a matter of survival for her to get that black wood. Somebody type Mississippi Blackwood in it. Are you hearing what these white women are saying? It is a matter of survival. It's a matter of life and death for them to get them a black man to go ahead and knock them up. That's what they're saying. You understand me? This is how serious they have thought about this. They have contemplated. Are you serious? How do I hold a group of men like this? Who are these black men that they talk about? I ain't never met. Who are these black men that they are talking about? I don't understand. I don't understand. I need a better understanding of what's going on. Let's see what this brother.
Israelites too. Listen, they're non-monogamous.
The Black Israelites was down at over in Sugar Land. You know, I live in Houston. I'm in Sugar Land, and the Black Israelites was down there in Sugar Land, Texas, at this town center. Okay, and all the Christmas trees was up there. I was coming out the steakhouse with my family. We just had little Christmas dinner. Black and the white man and the Esau. I'm like, man, why y'all got to do this? I mean, they was down there in front of the Christmas trees. I'm like trying to tip around, like I'm trying to take my little pictures. And don't mess with them, y'all. I'm trying to get a picture and cut them out the picture. They talking. Them Black Israelites, boy. They give everybody the blue. Just talking about how you gonna talk about white people in the white part of the city. The Black Israelites. This is who we is.
Man, it's okay. They're disgusting. They're non-monogamous.
Guess who's not monogamous, ANCAP? Your damn wife is not monogamous, ANCAP. You better check where she's at. Your wife right now probably getting bent over by some black man in some damn bathroom. You tell me we talk about we not monogamous? Your wife is not monogamous, ANCAP. You better get control of your damn woman. ANCAP,
control yourself.
I'm ANCAP. I'm trying to help you out. To all my white friends out there, I'm trying to help you out.
I'm trying to help you control
I'm trying to help you out.
Your apes.
Is this what it's all about? Is this the source of all this racial animus between black men and white men? Is that what's going on? Is this really what's going on? It's about that wood. That's what this is about. It's about that wood and that white woman. That's not the black man's fault that the white woman keeps running to the black man's wood. What did the black man have to do with that? I mean, the first you brought us off the goddamn slave boat, and we over there in chains, don't even speak English. And next thing we know, we sitting in the damn over there, rolled over next in the damn barn, and little Sally Mae, little 17-year-old Sally Mae done came outside and started stroking the wood. Is that the black man's fault? That is not the black man's fault. Y'all need to get your women under control. You shouldn't have brought us over here. You shouldn't have brought all these black men over here on these boats. You thought you was gonna have a bunch of free labor, okay? And then the little white woman found some labor for us to do that was outside the normal course of business, okay? So while you out there messing around with Tina Fey after she come from the cotton field, and you know your daughter and your wife and probably your grandma and is playing with goddamn loofah. Okay, that's what's going on. That's what this is about.
ANCAP, I got you. I'm trying to help ANCAP out. So ANCAP, what I'm asking you is this. I'm trying to help you out. You're saying that we have 8 behavior. And if you cannot impregnate your woman and your woman do not want to have sex with y'all, then just copy how we act. Then your woman might be aroused. That's what you should do, ANCAP.
Yeah, he said, I guess some women like that savage, wild, ape behavior that these white men say we exhibit, because they've been telling these white women how dangerous we are, and it has not gone over the way they think it should, apparently. Oh, Lord. Look out there on him like that. Leave that man alone. Unleash that man. Stop hugging up on him like that. Stop, get off of him like that. He is dusty. We are dusty. You can't be up on us like that. That's what's wrong with you. This is making my job harder. It's making my, tell us about your
A white guy or black guy?
White. Probably white guy. The last time I fucked a black dude, he ghosted me like a few weeks later and got back with his ex-girlfriend.
Wow. So what did you do?
I like stalked him for like a year and a half and then realized that it's never gonna happen. So now I'm like kind of low-key scarred. So white guys.
How many bodies did y'all call last summer?
I would have to count because right now I'm at like 27.
Damn.
So I'd have to count. So probably like
you needed the field goal,
6 or 7 last summer, I think.
Ain't nothing wrong.
I think so. I was 1 for me.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got experience. How many bodies you gonna catch this year or this summer?
I would assume like 3.
3?
You like, can I be one of them? Man, can it be 4? Can I be one?
How about you?
I don't know. She'll catch at least.
White man, how can you control women like this? These women, look, white man, you trying to control this woman? This woman is not gonna be controlled. That little young lady right there says she caught 27 bodies. She throwing up football numbers. I mean, you know, once you get to 30, I mean, once you get to 30, the other team can't catch up. It's mathematically and nearly impossible for the other team to catch up once you get 30. She kick a field goal, boom. What that mean? All she needs is a midget, and she gets 30 points. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know what you white men are gonna do. This is your woman, you know, and you mad at. And I'm looking at it from the perspective, I got to try to hold black men accountable, and we got all this going on out here. How can I hold these dusty black? I've been asked to hold dusty black men accountable, and you telling me this is what I gotta convince them with my little words on my little YouTube page. And this was
like 3 or 4.
That's crazy. You think that's true?
Well, I guess I'll find out.
If you're giving sloppy toppy, what do you think about?
Can this please end so I don't have to do it anymore? Let's just get it over with. Okay, head is so boring for girls. I personally, that's just me. I would have to agree. Or if they're like, I'd be thinking about like if they're like staring at me, you know? Yeah.
1 hand or 2 hands?
2.
No, we're not gonna put up.
Wait, no, what?
Well, women do find men with big penises more attractive. Academic study confirms. Well. Look at you women just out here big shallow, huh?
Shallow.
That's what it's all about for y'all, huh? Big
That's why you women, and that's why you white women are running to these black men.
dilks, abs and height, huh?
Yep, that's what it's about.
Y'all just shallow, man. Look at y'all, man. Just filth. That's what it's all about for y'all. Y'all be claiming this about their heart.
I just want to let y'all know that I've lost 150 people who are on this broadcast. I'm assuming these brothers have gone out to book tickets to Yugoslavia and Japan and several other countries. And I want to let all you know I'm ashamed of you because we have not finished with our broadcast, okay? And if you packing your clothes right now to leave town to go to Yugoslavia or Ukraine or wherever the hell you are, and you're not sitting here for this accountability session, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be 100% ashamed of yourself. You are here trying to get your friend to transfer his travel miles to you, okay? And if that's what you're doing right now, I'm highly disappointed in you. Highly disappointed in you, gentlemen. It's a sad situation that we're dealing with here in America. Super sad. And I'm so, again, I've been asked, I've been told that I need to use my platform to hold you black men accountable. Okay. I had something else totally planned. RJ-RQ3YH said, never heard you hold black men accountable. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. This is from today, a couple hours ago. All right. And I tried to give a long, intelligent response. And, this is all I came up with. Okay. And so I decided, instead of just leaving that little writing, I was going to dedicate this entire broadcast to holding you dusty black men accountable for your dusty behavior. And y'all have run off. I don't have, I think I got 100 likes, 5 super chats. This is what I get on a Saturday night for you people. This is what I get. I'm trying to hold you brothers responsible. I'm trying to be a pillar of the community. Huh? No, that's what it is. That's what. Now, if I was fighting on the internet, y'all be here with me, wouldn't you? If I was one of these dudes threatening to fight people on the internet, you'd be here. But accountability seems to be something you gentlemen are afraid of. But we'll talk about that another time. Look, at the same time, and ladies, I want you ladies, black women, come to the front of the room. Come on to the front of the comedy show's over. I want you all to come to the front of the room. I want you to listen to me. I want you ladies to listen to Uncle D. I love you. You know I love you. I do love you. Okay, I want you to listen to Uncle D. But see, it's important you understand where I'm coming from. At the same time, you want me and other black men to scold black men and hold them accountable. You got white women and all these other women who are openly hunting for them. They're hunting them down. Okay, and they're not shy about it. Did you see all those videos? And see, this has a lot to do with the fact that many of you ladies have publicly abandoned black men. Now, behind closed doors, we know you still getting, we know you're still doing something, okay? We know you're still dealing with black men, but publicly you make it seem as though black men are the scum of the earth, the pariahs, and the problem. And other women see that, and they pick those men up and take them. You see, as the saying goes, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. And those same women go on to build beautiful families and lives and fulfilling lives with those men. And they use those men for their resources, time, and energy, what men provide. And I understand why some of y'all do this. You really want black men to work harder and treat you better. Okay, by constantly telling the brothers that what they're not doing, you're hoping to inspire them to do more or to go above and beyond to prove their worth to you. And that might work in the short term, but eventually men are going to realize they don't have the time or energy or resources to keep trying to please someone that they can't never satisfy. And when that happens, they're going to go find someone else they can please. No man wants to fail at something forever. You understand me? Now, I want to take the opportunity. I want to because I know we got some white women in here. Look, I've always told black men the same thing I tell my own sons. Okay, let me say this. My preference for you black men is to marry women of African descent. In other words, marry a black woman. That's my preference for you. Okay? That's my preference. They can be Black American, they can be foundational Black American, they could be Caribbean, they could be African from the continent, they could be Afro-Latina, they could be mixed heritage, whatever. African ancestry is what I tell the brothers. And the reason I say that is because, not because I'm racist, I say that because they're Black, okay? And that reduces the identity issues for the children. It creates a common thread of understanding amongst you and your wife or your child's mother and the kids. And that being said, I've also said this: if you find a woman who's beautiful, who's fit, who's feminine, who loves you, who respects you, who treats you well, who's cooperative and inspires you to be a better man, you'll be a fool to leave that woman simply because she's not the right color, race, or ethnicity. And that's the advice I give my sons. It's the same thing I tell you brothers out here on the page. I think that's the responsible thing to do. But let me tell you what I don't respect and what I won't tolerate. And this is what I'm talking to you white women. I want you white women, you beautiful snow queens. All right. And this goes for any group of women. You don't talk bad about your men. What I'm calling out specifically is white women who start dating Black men. And I saw countless videos along with you all, you know, where you know, you only date Black men. You don't deal with white boys. Okay, fine. But there's no need to speak disparagingly about white men, white women. You need to remember who you are. You heard that one lady said, I like white women who act like white snow bunnies who act like white women. Yeah, you're a white woman. You have a white father. You have white brothers. You have white grandfathers. And those men nurtured you. They protected you. They provided for you. They helped shape you into the woman you are today. And whether you acknowledge it or not, you owe those men a basic level of respect. Nobody likes or respects a race traitor. Nobody respects a traitor in general, but especially a race traitor. You should not do that to white men. No group respects people who build themselves up by publicly tearing down their own. And just because you have preferences, you're romantic, sexual, or otherwise, that does not give you the license to talk bad about the white men who raised you. Choosing to date outside your race does not entitle you to denigrate your own people. And that's not empowerment. That's performative rebellion. Okay? It's not cute. You know, look, you telling your Black boyfriend that you don't like white boys and how inadequate they are, that Black dude, he gonna bang you anyway. You don't need to tell him that. He rock hard and ready to go anyway. You don't need to tell him, don't denigrate your own people, because at the end of the day, you denigrating yourself when you talk about your white father. And when you publicly disrespect your own men, you're not just talking about them, you're revealing something about yourself. You're showing a willingness to abandon loyalty for validation. And that's not a trait anyone should find attractive or trustworthy. As a woman, you should stay in your place and not disrespect the men who got you there. And when I say that, I'm not talking about submission. I'm talking about decency. I'm talking about gratitude. I'm talking about honor. I'm talking about class. Preferences are one thing. Public contempt is another. And let me say this clearly, because it matters. People who are comfortable disrespecting their own group in public will eventually disrespect whoever they're with. That same white girl is talking bad about her white father and her white brothers and sisters, telling them how inadequate they'll be, call you the N-word. You understand what I'm saying? You know, if you can publicly tear down your own father's image, your brother's image, your grandfather's image, don't think for a second that that same contempt won't show up somewhere else. Character is consistent. And that's why I don't respect that behavior, because it's not love, it's about choice, and it's not about freedom, it's about disrespect dressed up as preference. Now, brothers, I know you feel flattered. Okay, I know you're flattered, okay, but I want you to be clear about something. And you guys are learning something. This is not the facts and dates and stuff that I normally go through, and there might be a little bit of that in here. But as I say, if you learn something, I should earn something. And this is a hard one to ask. This is all fun and games. I don't give relationship advice. I don't do it. Everybody like what you like. I want you to be happy, baby. I just want everybody to be happy with whatever relation. It's so personal. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you some information, you know. And the thing is, I've been around enough corners and blocks to know some things. Okay. And you know, make sure, have y'all subscribed to the channel yet? Please subscribe to the channel. My goodness. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Don't make my job harder than what it is. I had to sit there and listen to all them white women fawn over you black dudes. Goddamn 25, 30 minutes. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't make my job harder. But let me clear about, I want to do something here. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not condemning anyone. I'm just simply describing patterns. Now, I guess we have to ask ourselves, what type of white woman likes black men? I see some peculiarities in it, you know, and the only honest way to answer that is by talking about what I see as some recurring archetypes. You know, I've seen, right? And I'm not saying all white women fit these categories, okay? What I'm doing is kind of explaining why. And the majority of black men who date out end up with white women because it's the majority of white women in the United States, you know, and that's why I'm dealing with them. I'm sure there's a Latino stereotype and an Asian stereotype, but, you know, for the most part, white women, okay? Because I want you to be careful. And that's what this is about. Sometimes the grass ain't always green on the other side. Sometimes they got fruit and pineapples over there. But, you know, I just want you to be mindful. And so what I want to try to explain is something that you may not understand. First of all, human behavior is not random. People move in patterns. It's shaped by psychology, it's shaped by culture, environment, life experience. And black men need to pay attention to this pattern. Okay, now let's talk about this type. You know, you got the ginger, right? The redheads, right? Some of these women, they look, you know, they're odd. If you talk to white people, they always talk about that redheaded stepchild. They always talk about the ginger. You know what I mean? And so they're the oddball of the white people group. You understand? And so being the oddball of the white people group, and I think we had something on the internet a few months back where we were talking about gingers or really black or something like that. But the thing is, there's entire pages dedicated online to black men being attracted to redheadeds. You see? Not all of them, but the probability increases. See, what you're seeing is maybe fetish. It's fetish. It's a fetish. It's fetishization. You know, it's a novelty sort of attraction. It's driven by the contrast. It's the exotic, the taboo appeal. She's already the black sheep of the family anyway. You see, and that kind of attraction could be very intense. You know, it's very immaculate, if you know what I'm talking about. Somebody, all the good spellers spell immaculate. It's immaculate up in there. I mean, just sweaty spots everywhere in the place where you normally take a nap. There's a lot of sweaty stuff going on. Okay, but intensity doesn't equal longevity or stability as far as relationships. And then, of course, you know, that's one. And then you got the hood white girl, right? Her Spotify, nothing but rappers. She doesn't even look at other races. You heard some of that. Her identity is wrapped up in black culture and black music, black spaces, black masculinity. And sometimes that comes from genuine culture immersion, something that comes from, and sometimes it comes from a rebellion against our own background. The risk here is that the culture is being consumed and not necessarily respected. Somebody type consumed in the chat room. Somebody type delicious in the chat room, okay? All right, so again, it's cursory. It's not a deep down abiding love. You know, it's not somebody that truly understands your culture like a black woman. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as a foundational black American man, you're probably gonna have the most rooted, deep down abiding connection with a foundational black American woman. It's no different than an African from a man from a certain tribe. His you know, she's gonna know his who he is. She's gonna know his upbringing. She's gonna, I mean, because that's the culture. That's who they come from. I'm just pointing it out to you, okay? And so you were dealing with somebody who's just approaching it because it's different between consuming the meal and creating the meal or cooking it. All right. So, that's the hood girl, right? Now, the other thing is the big girl. Shout out to all the plus size white women. All I've seen, look, look, you see there's a lot of big girls, a lot of big white girls that, and they how it happened. Growing up, the only men who showed interest in them were black men. And from that point on, the preference solidified. And there's a lot to do with the fact that black men don't have the same standards as white men. I'm not saying you got low standards. I'm saying we have different standards. White men typically like very skinny women with very large breasts. Black men typically like women who are a little thicker. Okay, that does not translate to obese. Okay, that does not translate to obese. A little thicker and obese are two different things. But of course, some brothers will take what they can get. Okay, so if you end up in Walmart with, one of them larger ladies sliding around with some house shoes on and 3 or 4 little biracial kids with a basket full of food, and the boyfriend with the hoodie on and the jiggly white girl pushing the basket. Well, it is what it is. Shout out to that family. I'm happy for you. Okay. Again, some brothers will take what they can get. In other words, they'll eat what's on the menu. Okay. That early, they don't need to go get cheeseburgers. They want the cheeseburgers, but this is a pizza place. They eat what's on the menu. All right. But the thing is that early validation created comfort, it created familiarity and loyalty. And that attraction often moves fast because it's driven by affirmation and safety, not just exploration. So the big girls, that's the big girls, okay? Big white girls. And then, of course, there's a rebellious type, and I spoke about this earlier the other night. This one is about defiance. It's not desire, okay? Sometimes for some of these white girls, dating a black man is a way to provoke a reaction, especially from her parents, particularly from her dad, especially if you got a racist daddy. All right. And I always point this out. The same effect could be achieved by dating a much older white man. She's trying to make a daddy man. She's rebellion. Okay. And that she's taking her father's power away. Okay. The man isn't the point. The rebellion is. And the key thing to understand is this. That's a phase that rarely lasts. Eventually, she's going to make a 180. And she's gonna go find her a Brad. Somebody type salvage title in the chat room. That's what they were talking about. If y'all hear what they're saying, I'm describing all these people in here so y'all can understand. And then, of course, like the lady with the nose ring, you got that rave archetype, that EDM rave archetype. That's attraction. It's lifestyle driven. She's drawn by the energy, the novelty, the freedom, the experience. She's at festivals, she's at raves, she's at parties. That attraction works only if you can match that lifestyle. And if you can't or you don't want it, it won't last. This isn't necessarily bad, but it is conditional. Okay. And then, of course, you got the progressive liberal arts major. Y'all have seen them in college. Some of you guys have knew them in the biblical sense of the word. And she probably is majoring in African-American history. There was Dr. T.S. Johnson said he teaches up at Cal State in California. He said, man, his class would be filled up with little white girls and little Latina and Asian girls in there studying African-American study. I'm like, really? They're in there studying African-American? And a lot of them take those classes so they can kind of have a better understanding of their black boyfriend. Where are all these women getting all these black boyfriends from? It ain't even a whole lot of black men in California, but all these little white girls and Asians and Latina girls got little black boyfriends. Are they sharing one? Are they sharing the same dude? I mean, what's going on? But anyway, this is that progressive liberal archetype, right? And this is what a lot of these women, and I did that broadcast the other day. I said awful, urban, awful sense of affluent, white, female, urban, liberal. This is where they start off at. They got that black boyfriend. He sets them free, right? And she's going to have a mixed friend group. Her best friend is probably black. Her attraction grows out of proximity and normalization and ideology. And sometimes it's genuine. And other times it slips into performative or just being an ally. She's being a good ally, somebody type ally. She's putting all she can out there, sacrificing for racial unity. And she's helping out. She's trying to heal you of your trauma. Apparently, that's the best way she could do it. She's healing Black men of their trauma by being an ally. Okay, apparently. But there's a question as to whether or not there's a real connection. All right. And then, of course, you got the post-divorce archetype. What was Kris Jenner? What's that Kris Jenner lady? You know, Kanye West's ex-wife. What's her name? What's y'all know what I'm talking about? Kris Jenner, the mom of golly, I can't believe the Kardashian girls. Kris Jenner got a Black man. See, that's that post-divorce archetype. She's coming out of a long relationship, long marriage. And of course, you see she's rebuilding her identity and moving fast. All right. And the vacation photos tell you the story. Escape, freedom, reinvention. She's reclaiming herself. And see, speed is the usual giveaway. Okay. Now let me tell you what I'm really saying. Attraction is rarely random. Preferences usually come from experience, and rebellion, validation, cultural identity shifts. That intensity doesn't equal intention. And not every attraction is meant for legacy. Do you understand what I'm saying, Black men? Let me say that again. Not every attraction is meant for legacy. Now, you can date who you want to date. You have plenty of options. Okay, brothers, I want you to hear me. Uncle D is telling you I love you. You got plenty of options. Okay. But what did I say? I said attraction is not every attraction is meant for legacy. Now, let me tell you something else. I want y'all listening. And some of y'all heads are big right now. Some of y'all heads are bigger than the earphones. You can't get your head in the earphones, the headphones that you listened to on that flight to Yugoslavia. I mean, you done took that red eye. You heard what I had to say 2 hours ago. Now you done already made it to the airport. Okay. Before I told you not to go. Look here. Don't just take it as a compliment that all these white women want you and all these Japanese women and Latina women want you, especially in a racist society where, they still carry these perceived social status. They feel like they have a higher social status than you. You don't fall into that trap of thinking you should be grateful just because you got her, like you won a lottery or something. That's the mindset that'll get you hurt. Because see, attraction alone doesn't tell you why she wants you, and why matters. See, before you get caught up in ego boost and you need to slow down and ask yourself a few questions. What's driving this woman's attraction to me? What phase is she in? What problem might she be solving for her? What am I doing? What problem might I be solving for her? What story is she telling herself, and what role am I playing in this story? Because see, sometimes you're not the destination. Sometimes your black butt is just an experience. You're not the partner, you're the phase, brothers. And sometimes, and let's keep it real, you're the rebellion, you're the fantasy, and and you're something that she's never done before. You like bungee jumping. You see, and brothers, I'm saying this with love. Not every woman who wants you is trying to build a life with you. And some people just want to feel. They just want to feel something. You understand? They just want you to lay that pipe a couple of nights. Shout out to Passport King. Thank you for being the sixth person that learned something. I thought other people will have learned something by now, considering we are 3 hours in, but only 6 people have learned something. And I must be doing a horrible job. I'll try to do better before I finish. Okay. And hopefully you all will learn something before I finish. I'm doing my best try to make this conversation exciting. I've asked for critics to come in, but the critics won't come in, even though it was a critic that had me do this in the first place. Okay, I'm just saying that it was a critic that got me motivated. The critic told me that she wanted me to hold black men accountable, and then I started looking around and analyzing, how do I hold black men accountable? And I got all these women out here talking about, I ain't gonna hold you accountable, black man. Come on over here and get some of this chop suey. Come over here and get some of this apple pie. You can't hold people accountable if they got all them damn options, ma'am. Okay, but nevertheless, I'm trying to teach y'all something, but clearly I'm not doing a good job, as I only have 6 super chats. And of course, as I say all the time, you don't learn nothing, I'm not gonna earn anything. So I'm just up here. But nevertheless, let's continue. Again, as I said, some people just, want proximity to you. They just want to be around you. They just want to touch on you. And then some people want to consume the idea of you. Somebody type consume in the chat room. Okay? Now, I want y'all to relax. I'm going to say something. Okay? I'm going to say something that you might freak you out. Okay? Shout out to Yop067. I appreciate you for learning something. Listen to me. Okay? I use the term delectable right now because I want to talk to you about a book called The Delectable Negro. Have y'all ever heard this book, The Delectable Negro? How many of y'all heard of the book? It's a very interesting read, and you all will not believe the subject matter that's discussed in The Delectable Negro. What subject matter do you think is discussed in The Delectable Negro? I'll give you one guess. I'm gonna let you see the cover of the book right here. I actually have this book in my home. It's a very interesting book, very interesting read. You see that? You can get it on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. Talks a lot about Black history here in the United States. I'm gonna get that out of here. Thank you so much, Devin Mitchell. We have 8 super chats. I'm gonna stop this broadcast and thank everybody who gives me the super chats, since you all are the only ones learning anything. Listen to me. The book isn't about literal cannibalism per se, the way some people want to joke about it. It's about like psychological consumption and what happens when desire, power, taboo, and fantasy get mixed together in white people's little head in the system of white supremacy racism. It's about how Black bodies, especially Black male bodies, have historically been desired in ways that weren't about love or partnership or respect, but about fascination, possession, and control. Now, they do talk a little bit about eating people in there. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. Okay, so before you puff out your chest and say she wants me, these white snow bunny queens want me, I ain't got to deal with these Keishas no more. Forget these Keishas. All you white girls is sitting up with your boyfriend right now listening to me. I know he told you I was a safe bet. He's light skinned. You can trust him. You just talk to Uncle D. Uncle D gonna talk to you right. Listen, he gonna tell you how to treat me. Look, she wants you all right. I want you to look at that white girl sitting next to you right now. I want you to look in her eyes. Okay, as we had this conversation, if you see a wink or flinch, you better get up out of there. Okay, but again, as I said, Black bodies, especially Black male bodies, have historically been desired, okay, in ways that weren't about love or partnership or respect. Okay, it was about fascination, it was about possession, it was about control. So before you puff out your chest and say, these white women love me, as you booking that flight to Yugoslavia, Poland, you make sure you understand how she wants you and why she wants you. Because once you understand why, then you can decide whether it aligns with your values, your future, your family goals, and your legacy. See, that's the wisdom here. Now, let's talk about this book, The Delectable Negro, because, really, history has a way of explaining the present, whether you like it or not. As again, the book is entitled The Delectable Negro, Human Consumption, Homoeroticism Within U.S. Slave Culture, and it was written by Vincent Woodard. Now, before anyone freaks out, let me be clear. Woodard is not saying white women are literally walking around wanting to eat you Black men. They're not that way, Okay, they might want to drain you dry, so to speak. Okay, but it's not like they're saying they're trying to eat you for dinner. That's not what this book is about. What he's doing is exploring a deep symbolic idea of how black bodies, black men's bodies, especially black men, were imagined as something to be consumed emotionally, sexually, psychologically, and in some rare documented cases, literally under extreme cases during slavery, okay, consumed. You understand me? And the book looks at actual slave narratives and historical sources where black people talked about being eaten and feared of being eaten or being treated like consumable objects. Woodard connects these accounts to ideas about desire and passion and fascination and power. And when he uses the word consumption, he's not just talking about eating with teeth and fire. He's talking about the psychological hunger, the hunger that white society developed for black bodies. And that includes how enslavers thought about black strength and black masculinity and black flesh and black sexuality, often mixing fear, desire, and domination all together. I mean, these people were truly fascinated and infatuated with it. They came all the way to Africa and pick us up and dragged us over here. Do you know how desperate you got to be to go all the way to somebody's house, pick them up, and then bring them back to your house and then hold them? Ooh-wee. But anyway, in this context of consumption, it means desired intensity, being treated as an object rather than a subject, or being valued not for your humanity, but for others, or for what others can project on you. And that hunger wasn't just physical, it was psychological. These people literally have a psychological hunger for us, you see? And see, the psychology matters. And this book makes the point that when people are forbidden, right, feared or publicly desexualized, yet privately, intensely desired, the desire can take on strange, obsessive, almost consumptive qualities. Okay? So what are we dealing with right now? Here's what we're dealing with. You got a society of people, you got a bunch of white girls who've been told their whole life that you need to leave that black man alone. The black man is dangerous. He's something he should be feared. He's forbidden. Y'all know what they tell them. And then they have come running to black men. I mean, they have come running. All you got to do is open the door and they coming in. It doesn't matter how old they are. They could be married. You hear all this stuff. You heard what that Hebrew Israelite man said? He said, your wife is getting piped down in the bathroom somewhere. Let me tell y'all something, man. I don't want to talk about scandalous behavior, but I got a buddy. And he's a member of a certain fraternity. Okay, he's a member of a certain fraternity, and I don't want to ever throw any shade towards any of the black, Greek letter fraternity. Oh, you dog. But he and I were in Miami, and I'm sitting there enjoying my meal. But he said he was going to the bathroom, and I'm looking this way, and he's looking that way, and I'm sitting here looking that way, he's looking that way, and he went to the bathroom, and I do. There's a guy behind me, with a couple of girls just chilling, and I'm eating my food. We're in Miami Beach. This is great, man. I'm cool, enjoying myself, And so he gets up and goes to the bathroom, and I'm chilling. Back then that's when I was drinking and whatnot, and then he comes back, and and I noticed that when he came back, right after he came back, he had that had a little forehead was sweaty. He had that. Let me see. He had that little sweaty forehead, and like that, right? He came and got his napkin, and he had a little glazed look on his eye. So I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I'm good, man. Let's go, man. Let's go. I'm like, what you mean? I'm still eating my food. What did we leave? Man, this man had the white girl at the table behind us. I'm sitting here looking this way. He looking at the white girl at the table behind us, had left her man. They had these two throwing sign language. We just sat down. He don't even know her. The Q dog, right? My friend, they done went to the bathroom. And the white girl has consumed him in the bathroom, and he then came back to the chair with a sweaty forehead. And she sat right back down with her man. After going to the bathroom, messing with the Q dog friend. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do y'all know each other? They don't even know each other. This is how. I mean, maybe just blame it on Miami. I mean, but it happened. And this particular clue, this is what you got to watch them Q dogs. Don't ever let your son pledge that filthy fraternity. Those filthy Q dogs. I mean, I have seen them do mothers and daughters on. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. What I'm saying is he was consumed in the bathroom, probably from the waist down, by this young Caucasian woman, okay, who was sitting with her boyfriend at the time. They just got up, and I don't know, I ain't paying attention. I'm just eating my food. You know, I like to eat. I'm here for the music, and I'm hanging out, looking forward to going to the club later on. Yeah, man. He's already went in the bathroom and got consumed. And, you know, and you all may laugh at that, but, you know, psychology matters. You know, and this particular book points out that when people are forbidden, feared, or publicly desexualized, and they privately, intensely, they do a lot of stuff. And in psychology, I think the term is when something is framed as taboo, the black man is taboo, it becomes eroticized. Okay, and so a lot of these white women see us as erotic. You heard what they said. You know, you got women in Yugoslavia. They ain't got no women in black men in Yugoslavia. How do you even know what the black man look like? We ain't over there. Okay, and when a group is simultaneously dehumanized and coveted, imagination fills in the gaps with fantasy. The worst thing these white folk and white men have done is told white women that the black man is this big sexual brute and they shouldn't have anything to do with him. They should fear him. Have you ever heard of something called histophobia? This is the fear. This is the desire for brutal men. It's like every time you send one of these guys who committed mass murder into prison, he gets a whole bunch of love letters and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? And all you white men have done, and all white supremacy has done, is made by shaming the black men and say how bad it. Black women, you've chimed in on this. This is where your butt is on the line. You have made all these women, by talking bad about your black man for the past 60 years, you've done nothing but make these other women desire them more. Shame on you. You have done it yourself. So on one hand, you got white men and white society, and generally, because there's white women involved in too, white racist rhetoric saying, leave that black man alone, leave that black man alone. And you got black women who should know us the best saying, leave this black man alone. They're horrible. All they want to do is just blow your back out, just bust your walls, and they just want to leave you with a baby. And all they want to do is just pound, pound, pound. And then the white man is telling the white woman, leave this black man alone. He's a savage. He's an animal. Meanwhile, you in there, you haven't said, all you doing is moving your neck back and forth. And she thinking about, I might need to get one of those savages. Every time you call a black man a savage, a gorilla, a ape, a monster, a threat, that just makes these white women desire them more. You see? You understand what I'm saying? And my man said it's hybristophilia. Yeah, love for criminals. But who's the criminal in this society, brother? That's what I was saying. The term is hybristophilia. Look it up. Are y'all learning something tonight? Do you understand? Everything they do to try to undermine the black man works in our favor. Isn't that crazy? Huh? Everything they do to try to undermine the black man. I mean, you got women halfway across the way. You were in Japan. There ain't even no black men. There ain't no foundational black American men in Australia, in Japan. How did they hear about us over there? But for the people over here, black women, white men, white society, this is what you did. Look at the mess you've created. It's insane. It is insane. They literally want to consume you. They want to possess you. They want to have one of their own. And you're the it. Isn't that wild? You got to understand something. This fantasy. You know, you got desire, it mixes with power, and people don't just want you. They want what you represent. They want to consume you. Even during slavery, black men were paradoxically denied full human status, yet we were projected as symbols of physical power and ecstasy, exoticism and mystery. And that paradox creates a psychological distortion. It's not a rational preference. It's that's why you can be dusty and whatever, they got to have it. And see, it's where attraction and domination start to blur together. That's why Woodard unpacking not just because he thinks white people are secretly, he was saying cannibals. That's what the book is kind of about, but because he wants us to understand how desire gets shaped by power and taboo and fantasy and in a historical context. And this is why I bring it up to black men. When a woman, white or otherwise, uses language like she wants to get under your skin, get all in you see, or have all of you, there's a psychological echo there. See, of course, desire can be romantic, it can be erotic, it could be a genuine connection, or it can be driven by obsession, taboo, fascination, fantasy, projection, rebellion, identity, experimentation, or a power dynamic. You belong to her, you her property. And men, especially black men, can be tempted to interpret any form of our desire as validation. We got all these women over here in the United States, black women telling us we ain't shit. Black women asked me to come on the internet and tell you black men you ain't shit. And this is what I came up with. I was supposed to tell y'all you ain't shit for the last 3 hours. I was supposed to hold you accountable, you black, dusty black men accountable. And if I don't do it, of course, there are plenty of people who will, right? But the bottom line is, it puts you in a position where when you have women complimenting you like that, especially white women who are supposed to have this, who have the higher social status in this racial caste system, like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said, white is on top, black is at the bottom, and now you got this white woman giving you this validation from her high, lofty position as at the high point on the racial social caste. You are tempted to interpret that as validation, and really it's just a form of desire. But attraction is not always about love. It's not always about compatibility, and it's definitely not always about building a future. Is this too much for you guys? Should I? Because I know it's complicated. We're talking about a lot of different things, but and I know this is deep into graduate level type stuff. Is this too much? Are you guys picking this up? Is this maybe this is a little too high order for you all? Is everybody picking this up? I need to know. I can, I got some more to say, but I don't want to lose anybody because I've had people complain about things. People look at the title, they don't listen, and then they say mean things to me in the comments section. If it's too much, just let me know. If I need to tone this down a little bit, bring it back down, let me know. But I want to be able to just finish my thoughts on it because I think it's an important conversation, especially moving forward. If this is too much to handle, if it's too high order, let me know. I like talking about history, but in talking about history, I can give you facts and dates and whatnot, but there's this big cabal of information that I would like to share with you guys. And, you know, I don't want to lose my audience, right? I don't want y'all to run away. So, you know, at any point it just gets too much for you to handle. Just say, man, that's boring. And I'll move on to something else. But if you will let me finish, please. And again, the way I know you like it is you hit the like button or you hit the subscribe button. And I don't think I got too many likes and subscribes on this, but I like it. I find it interesting. You know, I do. But anyway, like I said, sometimes, you know, it's about fantasy. Sometimes it's about, oh, you're exotic. Sometimes it's about curiosity tied to history or taboo. And we would imagine we would have a lot of that, especially in a racist society that tells women, no, that's not for you. You know, and just because someone says that they want you doesn't mean they understand you, brothers. You know, you see, and that doesn't mean that they want a life with you. All right. That doesn't mean they want to feed your spirit, your family, or your legacy. And see, that's the psychological death behind the delectable Negro. Desire and consumption can blur together in the human imagination, especially when history has wrapped power, fear, and taboo around the body. And no, I'm not saying women want to literally put you in the pot and stew you for Sunday dinner. Okay. That's not the point. But metaphorically, history shows people can desire you in ways that are not about partnership, loyalty, or future building, but about possession and fantasy. And you don't have to be a white woman to do this. Some of y'all have had some women that want to possess you, and if they can't have you, nobody else can have you. You ran across some women like that, I'm sure. And so again, when you hear language like, I want all of you, myself, I want to get under your skin, I just want a black, nah. When you hear that, you need to pay attention. See, desire is powerful, but it's not always healthy. It's not always grounded in a relationship ready, you know? And that's why understanding the history and the psychology matters, and why you should always ask why before you take what feels good at face value. I'm just saying, fellas, you know, sometimes it might not be a good idea to, you know, deal with that late night hype. But look, man, I appreciate everybody. I do have some more to say, but I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone. You know, I thought I'd like to thank you all for this, the time you spent with me today, and you know, and thank you guys for contributing to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. We have a couple of Cash Apps here. We got let's see here. And if you learned something, I appreciate it. Thank you, Patricia Hightower. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. The other thing is we want to get okay, we got 9 super chats that y'all didn't learn. 9 people learned something. I appreciate the 9 people that learned something today after 3 hours and 12 minutes. I learned something too. This is I'm gonna go back to talking about stuff that's gonna make y'all stay and pay. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. But anyway, I want to thank the people who contributed to the. Maybe we'll get 10. Can we at least maybe? If don't give me anything if we didn't learn anything, but 10 super chats would be better than 9. Okay, but that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, shout out to Black Doula. Peace and blessings, brother. We got 9 super chats. Each one teach one. Good looking out. Cool Joe Scott, thank you so much for the $5. Also, Bobby Williams, shout out from Vegas. Thank you so much, Bobby Williams. Dre Harden, love those who love you, but don't let those mess up your vision. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good evening, Uncle D. Some raggedy simp asked you to hold us dusty black men accountable. You can't make this. Yeah, man. I mean, you see, I've done the best I can hold y'all accountable. And this is the result. I've done a good a job as holding black men accountable on this broadcast as the rest of black society has done in holding you all accountable. You understand? And somebody type passport bros in the chat room. Somebody type global gentlemen. Somebody type dating out. Somebody type, what is it called? Financial celibacy, right? They haven't done a good job either. Let's see who else we got. A Passport King. As long as a woman obey her man, all that matters. Thank you so much. Yop067. Thank you too for the $20 super check. Devin Mitchell. Good message. Black men should be careful. ESP with Becky. Yeah, you should. You should be careful with any woman, but understand what society we live in. Dennis, you have a talent for putting medicine in candy. Started with the silliness and tied it with history and sociology. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. That's what I try to do, man. It takes a lot to get this stuff done, man. All right, look, I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I know this is long. I try not to stay here past 3 hours, so we're already at 3 hours and 14 minutes. But I do want to add something else, and thanks everybody who contributed to the super chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. Again, we got 9 super chats. If you didn't learn anything, I don't need to earn anything. I'll try to do better next time. And I know this is a complicated topic, and we went all which ways to end up where we are. But here's the thing I want you to understand. So look, let me explain how we got here and why I'm talking about this in the first place. All right. A young lady left a comment on my page saying she had never heard me hold black men accountable. She said black men don't love their mothers, and she asked, where's the father? That's basically it, because I basically was talking about how the root of the, I was basically saying that, boys in general, black men, also, we develop our opinions about black men based on the women that are in our lives, whether they be our mothers, our sisters, etc. And so that being the case, you already have developed an opinion on black men or black women from your mama before you even start dating a black man. Same thing that I said earlier. Y'all didn't hear it. When I talked about little girls growing up, listening to the stories of their aunties, their sisters, their grandmothers, becoming emotionally tied to those, and that becomes an emotional anchor. And it's what grounds them when they're dealing with black men. So yeah, they may not have ever even had these experiences, but because they have the collective emotional experiences from those other women, you are now held responsible for what these other women experience with your woman, even though she never actually experienced it in the first place. So I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. When I say that black women are being held responsible for the experiences that black boys have had to deal with their black moms in the 80s and 90s, and that is the source of the gender war. And so instead of understanding where I was trying to go with that, the sister basically just said, you saying they don't love their black mothers, but where's the father? You just missed the whole point. Again, the comment didn't come out of nowhere. It came from frustration. It obviously came from pain from that sister. And again, I would invite her to come talk to me. And it came from conversations that are happening right now inside the black community, especially here on YouTube. Y'all hit the #1 button, and let's keep this algorithm going. Okay. Somebody type learn something in the chat room. All right. Again, it came from pain, but instead of ignoring it or responding to it emotionally, I took it seriously because comments like that represent a broader mindset that a lot of people are carrying right now. And so I responded honestly, and I said, I'm an advocate for black men. And because of that, you probably will never hear me publicly chastise black men in public forum. Now, if you ever booked a session with me, you will get an earful. If you ever booked a private session with me, I will tell you exactly what I think about where you are in life. And people have done that before. And I've helped a lot of people, whether we're talking about medical students or business owners or whomever. And if you would like to book a private session, you can hit me up at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. I'm always available. I charge about an hour in and out. We'll have a conversation. The other thing is, make sure you contact me at 713-229-0770 if you've been involved in a car accident, because clearly 11 super chats is not going to help me pay any bills. All right. Clearly, this is like a hobby I've taken too far. But thank you. That maybe we can get to 15, maybe 4 more people. Maybe 4 more people have learned something. But again, if you don't learn something, I don't need to earn anything. But if you do learn, I should earn. But let me get back to what I was saying. So you get where I'm going. Okay. So you got a lot of hurt people. And I'm just trying to explain, well, this is what's going on. I'm an advocate for black men. Okay. I'm not going to speak publicly against black men in a public forum. That doesn't mean accountability doesn't exist. It means I understand my role. Okay. As a lawyer, I don't advocate for everybody in the courtroom. I advocate for the person I represent. And the court of public opinion works the same way. There are hundreds and thousands of people out there saying horrible things about black men in all sorts of media, news, think pieces, movies, music, news articles, even individuals. They call black men body bags and all kinds of stuff. It's horrible, and they've been holding black men accountable for decades. Some of these talk shows like Sally Jesse Raphael and Ricky Lake and Montel Williams and Oprah Winfrey have always held black men accountable. And see, that's not a gap that needs to be filled. So the real question becomes, why is it that there's such a strong desire for me, from my position and my platform? Why do you want me to do it? Okay. And I opened the door to this question early because once we ask honest, you're no longer just talking about black men. You're talking about relationships. You're talking about economics. You're talking about marriage. You're talking about frustration, fear, security, and people feeling left behind in a very difficult moment in the country right now. And at the end of the day, I understand where that criticism comes from. I understand why this young lady wanted me to openly chastise black men. We're dealing with a young population, and this conversation is really about relationships. A lot of women feel left behind. A lot of women are struggling, especially in the current economic climate. They need help. You see, they need a man with some money. They need some resources. That faces a lot of women are insecure with home insecurity, food insecurity. Some women are sleeping in their car. I've seen videos where you have women sleeping in these storage centers, right? And they need a man, they need a man. They need a man to survive. They can't survive on their own. And when the frustration builds, it feels easier to direct that pain at black men who they feel they're supposed to have. But I'm not going to do that. More importantly, I want her and I want all of us to understand why black relationships are under attack and why the pressure to publicly tear each other down feels so strong. People rejoice when they see us attacking each other. They benefit from it, they amplify it, and they profit from it. And so instead of blasting each other on the internet, instead of disparaging each other in public, I'm asking us to give each other grace. Shout out to BJ773. Thank you for the 12th super chat. Maybe we'll get to 15 because we need 3 more people to learn something. But again, instead of blasting each other, instead of talking bad about each other in public, I'm asking you to give each other grace and to understand that, okay, what we're dealing with is bigger than individual failures. This is how our culture has always survived, by enduring, by adapting, by finding our way through difficult times together. I hear the angst. I acknowledge it, but tearing each other apart has never been a solution, and it never will be. We will get through this, family, just like we always do. Now, ladies, black women, I want you to come to the front of the room. Come on up here. Come on, ease on in, baby. I want you to take that bonnet and put it on the other side of your head and put this phone right in front of your face and listen to me. I want you to listen to me. And let me say this plainly because it matters. When you publicly talk bad about black men, when you constantly complain about black men, when you ridicule them or paint them as failures in public spaces, you are not holding them accountable. What you're doing is advertising them as unwanted, and other women are watching. And at the same time, you want to scold black men and demand more from them. White women, Japanese women, Latin women, all these other women are openly pursuing black men, and they are not shy about it, baby. They see the complaints, they hear your insults, they notice the distance you're creating between you and your man, and they step right into that gap. And that has a lot to do with the fact that many of you have been publicly abandoned black men in the court of public opinion. Now, behind closed doors, The babies keep coming. It's a different story. I know y'all still dealing with each other, but publicly, you make it seem as though black men are the problem, and the burden and the embarrassment and the ones nobody should want. And other women hear that message loud and clear, and they pick those same men. They pick them right up. That man you threw away, the same one you threw away, pick them right up. As I said earlier, one woman's trash is another man's treasure. And the truth is, many of those men go on to build families and relationships. They find peace, right? You say, oh, that's just because they treat them better. I don't know. I'm not in that relationship, but either way, they go on about their business. You see? I know. Now, the thing you got to understand, ladies, is no man wants to feel like his woman is always disappointed in him. No man wants to fight an uphill battle forever just to earn respect. Eventually, any man is going to realize, he don't have the energy or emotional bandwidth to try to keep trying to please someone who seems impossible to satisfy. You see what these white men are calling their women? Mud sharks, salvage. What else? All these other names, just because they went out and had sex with a black man. They know they can't please her, so they just dismiss her. That's what these white men are doing. And see, when that realization hits, they don't stop, they don't stop wanting love. They just go somewhere else and get it. And that's what black men will do eventually. And this isn't about blaming black women. It's about understanding how public behavior shapes private outcomes. When you publicly disrespect your men, you don't push them away. You make them easy targets for other women who are watching and listening and ready to receive them without contempt. And if you want black men to love, to thrive, you can't keep tearing black men down publicly and expect them to stay put. They got too many options. Criticism without care doesn't build families. It breaks them. And that's the warning to black women. Now, here's the thing, family. I want y'all to hit everybody, all black people, all you black people come up here. I'm getting tired now. I only got 12 super chats. So y'all didn't learn nothing, though. Only 12 of y'all learned something. In a classroom full of people, only 12 people learned something. That's sad. 380 people, only 12 people learned something. Sad. Now, that being the case, I done sat here for the past 3 hours and almost 30 minutes talking about white women and black men. So let's shift gears and tell the truth about black relationships, and more specifically, black marriage. You're going to learn something, okay? There's always this underlying resentment floating around, especially online, where some folk, black women, feel that all the good black men are being taken off the market or marrying women who aren't black. And I want to be very clear, that's not true. The narrative doesn't hold up when you actually look at the numbers or the reality on the ground. What is true is that marriage rates are down. Okay, they're down across the board. They're down in the black community, they're down in the white community, they're down. And instead of using that fact to beat ourselves up or to label this generation as a failure, which many of you all are doing, I want to take a moment to explain why this is happening. Because when you understand the history and the economics and the social forces behind marriage, you can start giving yourself some grace. Somebody type grace in the chat room. Somebody type grace in the chat room. You can't stop. You can stop internalizing the shame that doesn't belong to you. Somebody type grace in the chat room. I'm going to preach a word tonight. Okay? Shout out to Greg L. Thank you so much for the super chat. Grace. Give yourself grace. You can stop doing that. Stop beating yourself up. When I finish with this, you'll stop beating yourself up. And you can stop letting people, especially white supremacists, racists, use the lack of black marriages compared to what was going on in the 1950s, those statistics, those stats as weapons against us. Because that's what they do. They love to say, oh, black marriage is down. It's because black marriage is, that's why you all are rotten. That's why everything is bad. Black marriage. See, they love to throw up the low marriage rates in our face as proof of some kind of moral failure in the Black community, while ignoring the fact that their own marriage rates are falling too. And this isn't just a Black problem, it's a modern problem. So let's talk about Black marriage honestly, without nostalgia, without self-hate, and without letting anyone else define us. Check this out. Let's put the marriage conversation in a proper historical context, because a lot of people talk about marriage without knowing the numbers or conditions behind them. All right, and here's the breakdown. I want you to listen to me. In 1880, the U.S. marriage rate was 9 out of 1,000. So 9 couples, 9 people, or really, 9 people out of 1,000 were married. Okay, and I know how can they have an odd number? Just roll with me for a minute. 90 people out of 10,000 people were married. Okay, so that's 90 couples. All right, we'll just use that. In the 1950s, marriage rates hit a high point, the highest ever in America. In the 1950s, it was the highest point in America. 15 to 16 marriages per 1,000. That's about 150 or 160 marriages per 10,000 people. You understand that? So in 70 years before that, in 1880, there were 90 people for every 10,000 who were married. In the 1950s, there were 150 to 160 people married per every 10,000. What happened? What was going on in the 1950s that wasn't going on in the 1880s? But either way, that's a 70-year time period. Now let's move forward another 70 years. What's the marriage rate now? Well, the marriage rate in 1880 was 90 out of every 10,000, and it shot up to 15 to 16 out of every 10,000. And now it's down to 6.1 marriages, which is 60 marriages out of every 10,000. So so you see what happened? It went whoop, whoop. You understand? But we need to be clear about something. I want you to understand, because I want people to stop using this and hitting Black people in the head with it. In the 1950s, it was a high point in marriage. And that decade was not normal. It was abnormal. It was an anomaly. That spike didn't happen because people suddenly became more moral or more committed. It happened because of very specific conditions. World War II had just ended. Millions of men had come home horny. I'm sorry, did I say that? I'm sorry. Many men had come home at the same time. They were all there. They were young. They were single. You understand what I'm saying? Most of them. The U.S. economy was booming. Why was it booming? What happened to the rest of the world in World War II? Was Europe okay? Europe was flattened. Germany was flattened. Great Britain there's nothing. China was flattened. Japan we just hit them with 2 bombs. There was no other economic engine in the world. The United States was intact. We had just come out for reproducing all of these machines and whatnot, these weapons of war. So we were full blown. We were ready. We were doing it. We were ready to make goods and services for the world. So what happened? Well, number one, you had cheap houses because the houses were cheap. You had they put a house up in a house for $7,000. It wasn't worth the crap. A car was cheap. They weren't worth the crap. It was a death trap, but everything was cheap. Houses were cheap. Cars were cheap. You had plenty of money, but everybody had a job. The government was giving out GI bills. They had we had a bunch of wealth. So money was everywhere. Jobs were everywhere. Houses were cheap. Cars were cheap. So you got everything you need to create a family. So the job could pay a living wage on one income because you had a whole bunch of cheap houses. Look at some of these houses. And I talked about this the other day. And like I said, inexpensive. Women were socially and legally pushed into marriage also. They didn't have rights. So if you wanted a bank account, you needed to get a husband. If you wanted a credit card, you needed to get a husband. And the other thing was socially, divorce carried a heavy stigma. In other words, marriage was heavily encouraged and supported and enforced by economic policy and culture and the particular environment at the time. That was artificial. That was artificial. Now compare that to the 1880s. In the 1880s, marriage was common, but it wasn't easy. People married for survival, not for romance. Mortality was high. Mobility was limited. Most people didn't travel past, leave their county. Most people back then didn't leave. Most folk live in agricultural or labor-based households. Wasn't nothing else to do but getting married and go to church on Sunday and maybe a barn fire on a Saturday night. That was it. Communities were smaller. They were clusters. There was nothing else to do but getting married. And see, marriage happened under pressure. We didn't have freeways, highways, passports. So when people say marriage used to be normal, what they're usually talking about is the 1950s. They're not talking about the 1800s. And that matters because in the 1950s, as I said, those were not traditional times. In the long view of history, there was a post-war economic bubble and the correct way to frame it is simple. In the 1850s, marriage was moderate. It was about survival. In the 1950s, marriage was at a historical high and driven by post-war prosperity. Today's marriage is lower and is shaped by economic strain. People don't get married when they broke like that. Delayed timelines. People got to work, finish school, personal choices. Some people don't want to get married. And so low marriage rates today are not proof of moral decline. They're proof that we had some unique conditions in the 1950s no longer exist. I want you to keep in mind when they talk about morality, do you think those people who were lynching people in the 1950s were moral? Do you think all the cigarette smoke and drinking and stuff they were doing and these people could beat their wives, you think that was more moral back then? I think not. We had just dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You think that was moral? I'm just asking questions, okay? I'm just asking a question. Now, let's talk about what this means for Black people. And we got 12 super chats. Maybe you'll learn something before I finish in the next 5 minutes, and I'll get 15 super chats. 15 to be a win. All right, but let me bring this all home. All right, what does this mean for Black people specifically? Because our story doesn't start on equal footing. Black Americans didn't even have the legal right to marry for most of U.S. history. During slavery, families could be formed, but marriages were not recognized by law. Husbands, wives, children, they could be separated at any time. And after emancipation, Black people tried to build families while being denied land, access to money, stable employment, or legal protection. Despite all that, Black marriage rates were actually strong for decades. You see? But the real decline didn't happen because Black people stopped valuing marriage or stopped loving each other. It happened when economic conditions collapsed, when good paying jobs disappeared, when mass incarceration expanded, when wages stopped keeping up with the cost of living, and when the risk of marriage became higher than the reward because of the judicial system, family court. So marriage follows stability. Somebody type that. Marriage follows stability. Marriage follows income. Marriage follows opportunity. And when those things are removed, marriage declines, not just for Black people, but for anyone in that position. We're not seeing these same patterns in white working class communities that Black communities experienced earlier. We're seeing it right now. That's why marriage went from 9 to 16 down to 6. It's evening out. It'll go back up again. If they want more people to get married, we need more prosperity in America. Now, on the family structure side, especially the single mother conversation, they use that to vilify the Black community. Here's where things get real. In 2023, about 20.9% of U.S. children live in a mother-only household. And for Black children, Black alone, the mother-only shares is 44% of that. Okay? The census, CPS estimates say 9.8 million one-parent households in 2023 and 7.3 million mother only and 2.5 million father only. So when people talk about regression, part of what they're pointing at is this: marriage is happening less, and a large share of kids are being raised in single parent homes, especially in the Black community. And that has a downstream effect on economic stability, time, supervision, and opportunity. So when people use marriage rates to shame Black people, what they're really doing is ignoring history and economics. Marriage is not failing because Black people are broken or immoral. Marriage is strained because the foundation that supports it has been weakened. And understanding that should help us stop beating ourselves up and stop letting anyone else weaponize these numbers against us. Now, I want to thank everybody for this broadcast time period. I hope that you all have enjoyed this accountability sessions that I brought forth on Black men. You Black men, I hope you take everything that I've said here today and take it seriously. Black women, I hope that you understand that you've asked, one young lady asked me to hold these dusty Black men accountable, and I pointed out to you exactly what I think needs to be pointed out to about holding them accountable. And I hope you all will take this message and take it from a place of love. And it is now yours. It belongs to the ethos, and y'all do with it what you will. This is Uncle D, and I am out.
In the Spurling podcast, hit the like button, subscribe.